Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you the Tottenham Fan Show with co-host Jack Kinnicky. We've already got guests lined up to go. But guys, you know, what better way to start, you know, the worst day of the week, which is Monday, with Tottenham maximum points in the Premier League, Jack, Arsenal in the relegation zone. No better way to start Monday, is it?
No, there's no better week to start as a Tottenham fan. You know, we can probably walk into the, the Monday, maybe even wearing the, the kits under, the office clothes, David, probably even, giving, a bit of that dirt, to the scum fans as well, maybe at the office, I'm thinking. And then, David, honestly, it's the day where we get to hear from the Harris Army, the day where we get to hear what they have to say, what they're thinking after the win, maybe what they're thinking for the future, maybe what they're saying, to the people in the neighborhood about Spurs. Maybe it's just a day where we just get to be a bit prideful, David.
No, it is. Look, it's a day where we get to glow up. But honestly, it's my favorite day of the week, Jack. We get to meet everybody, that supports. Well, not everybody, but, we get to meet some of the Harris Army. We get to, see their faces. We get to speak to them, get their thoughts, share their opinions. And, they're the people that, really, really do help support us. So it's my favorite day of the week, I have to say, in terms of content creation. So everyone, big yourselves up. We do have a lot to get through today. The agenda is, guys, it's just thoughts on yesterday's game. Is the lack of creativity and possession a concern going forward? Would you be happy if we signed Adama Traore? It seems to be one that's splitting the fan base right now, kind of 50-50. Bayern seem to be the only people interested in Tanga and Ndombele. Do we take a cut price free and sell them at all costs, or do we stand the ground and get what we want for them? Look, for me, it's come to my attention that we're at the very limits of the foreign player rule. So non-homegrown players, we're at 17 at the minute. I went and checked it. I looked through the Tottenham squad, and it seems to be true that we are at 17. So if we did sign another couple in and we can't shift some of the deadwood out, would you be satisfied with not registering some of the deadwood? I want to know that. I want to know what other positions you think we need to strengthen in the transfer window as well. So guys, get your comments in here in the comment section. Let us know the questions to the answers. We want you to answer the questions as well. Also, look, make sure you do smash a like on the stream. Make sure you smash a subscribe on the channel if anyone is new. And look, why not help support us with a super chat or two? It is a great way to help support us. You have no idea how much it really means, how much it helps us put out better and better content. As you can see, we've already started ramping up the content, bringing the likes of the tactics stuff and all that sort of stuff. So I hope everyone's really enjoyed last week. It was kind of like our first full week, full throttle, and we're going into another one. And we're absolutely enjoying every minute of it, aren't we, Jack?
No, honestly, it's crazy. Even David, YouTube is telling us good things, about, the content that we're, providing for the Harris Army even as well. But hopefully, let us know, what you guys like to see. Let us know what we can do better. Dave and I are trying to improve constantly. We're trying to, improve for not only ourselves, but also just the content for you guys as well. But we are trying to ramp it up. We are trying to give, a better quality content as well, trying to make it a bit, a bit of a higher variety, with the pre-recorded. So really just let us know what you guys like. And as well, with the second channel, if you want to see maybe David, not talking about Spurs, maybe you want to see David, talking about Holland, maybe David playing a bit of FIFA, we're just trying to give you guys a bit more of, David and the Harris Army, a bit more action, let's say, just all around.
100%. So I hope you're enjoying it. And of course, West Ham have just gone 3-1 up here. And Mikel Antonio is celebrating with a cardboard cutout of himself. I never thought I'd see the day. That's a shameful celebration. But look, guys, let's welcome some of the Harris Army and let's see who we've got in the building today. We have Killian Kelly. Big yourself up, my man. Here's your annual shout out. I hope things are well. Chris is telling them all. Exactly, Chris. You tell them, to the Harris Army, and get your super chats in. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. You're a legend, my man. Adam says, well, lads, how are we? I hope you are keeping well. We're all good, Adam. I hope you are too. William McKenzie's in the house. He says, guys, big up. I hope you're absolutely delighted.
William.
With the win. Killian Kenny, yeah, West Ham are winning. Zoe, evening. I hope things are well with you, Zoe. I hope things are good.
Yep.
We have Mac.
Big up, Zoe.
If we're differing all the loan with option to buy for next season, what we will realistically spend next year's transfer window? Yeah, that is a good point. That's a very good point. I actually found myself thinking about that today, my man. So I did. It's a very, very interesting point you make there. Maybe I could have a look into it a bit more for everybody. Big up, Blade. I hope things are well. Hope things are good with you. Who else have we got in the building? We've got David. He says, hi, everyone. What do we think of this Traore deal? Sounds like we are really pushing for this deal. It could create some interesting dynamics up front. Look, before we welcome more in, we'll both give our quick opinions on it because, look, we're not really here to answer the questions today. We want to hear your guys' thoughts. So, look, Jack, do you want to give your quick opinion on the Traore deal? Because I actually do have a few stats, and it's very interesting. I just want to grab them there.
And maybe I'll be good cop and bad cop, really quickly, David. Good cop about Traore, I would say, he's unbelievable as a substitute. He can bring something different. He is fantastic at beating his man and putting in a ball in the box. Maybe the ball might sail over the guy's head, but, at least he's able to take on his man and at least, cause, something different. He's also unbelievably always in shape, so you can always rely on that. So he can be a very dynamic change as a substitute. Bad cop version, I would say, listen, he's not going to be able to end very well in the productivity. He's not going to, end very well in terms of, the X's and O's for just, finishing in goals and assists. But he will, maybe provide something a bit exciting that's new.
100%. And if Dark Sung G is out there, this would be one he'd be loving. So, look, I'm going to compare him to Eric Lamela here, right? I've seen this today. So, Eric Lamela, 177 appearances in all time in the Premier League. Adama Traore across all clubs in the Premier League that he's played for, 142 appearances. Goals to Lamela, 17. Goals for Adama Traore, 7. Assists, 23 for Lamela, only 14 for Adama Traore. So Adama Traore is way behind Eric Lamela on the stats. The only thing, again, look, I'm going to play good cop, bad cop. Bad cop was the stats. Good cop is that, that's over a course of an 8-year period at Tottenham with Lamela. He was getting aging, so he's never going to improve. With Adama Traore, he probably will improve. And with Kane and Son in around the squad, you're telling me, he wouldn't be learning a thing or two off them. So, look, it's one I haven't really decided whether I want to be at or not, to be honest with you, David. I hope you enjoyed the answers, my man. William McKenzie says Adama was in, so he doesn't have to. He wants in, so he doesn't have to play against Tanganga. I heard. Yeah, hopefully that's the case. He's afraid of manhandler. Cody Mack absolutely loves the intro. I'm sure he tunes in just for the intro. Big up, Cody. Really appreciate it. So he says, perfect remedy for a Monday. Big up, lads. Hope you're keeping well. As N17, yes, lads. Big up. I hope you're keeping well. As James Redmond says, does anyone know what formation Nuno wants to use? About time a system was devised to accommodate a second striker. Look, all I'd say is give him time. For all we know, he has the international break to work with. A lot of the players probably won't be able to travel with being on the red list in some countries. Salah wasn't able to travel for one of Egypt's game. I'm not sure I was going to work out with the Argentinian players because they shouldn't be allowed to travel, so they might not be allowed to travel. So it gives Nuno time to work something over the international break. For all we know, he could have just devised a system just to get through the early games until he knew what was going on with Harry Kane and everything else. So just wait and see. Hold tight is what I say on that, Jamesy boy. And we have Dark Sung G21. Come on, you Spurs. The Gooners are going to lose next game. It's Man City, lad. Son was picked for the Korean national team as always. Absolutely love it, my man. Absolutely love it, Dark Sung G. I hope things are good with you. And how many goals do you think Son will get over the international break? Let me know. OG Low says we need a cam. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think we do too. Big Bobby says THFC FC. Hey, big yourself up, my man. I hope things are well. Cody Mack says we are at the limit for Europe, not for the Premier League. Okay, that's not too bad. So, Jeannie Han says still need an Ericsson replacement. Yeah, that's true. Kev Williams says Traore would be an awesome signing. Yeah. I can see why many would say he would be. David would rather a striker. Eddie Ryan's in. He says, do you think clubs tell Romero some porkies just to upset some players? Just a thought. Or tell Fabrizio Romano some porkies. I'd say agents do anyway, 100%. I'm not sure about clubs, my man. Let's see who else we got. We've got James Hunter says, waste of money. We have much bigger priorities in well-documented weak positions. Yeah, very interesting. Josh Riggin says, do you think that Adama could be worth 70 million a year or so if he started scoring a few more? He will either be a massive flop or a world-class player. Yeah, that's the problem. That's a great comment. You don't know what he's going to be. Oh, sorry, go on.
Mary McGee is in the building, David. Good to see Mary McGee in the building. Big Bobby is in the building, David. Always good to see Big Bobby. Of course, James Hunter, I think you highlighted him earlier. Adam is here. Anybody else we're missing? I'm just trying to make sure, David. But we have someone here, Gene Hahn. Good to see Gene Hahn in the building as well.
Oh, yeah, I got Gene.
Okay, so yeah, David, I think all the Harris Army is now here.
We have a few more down here hiding. We have a few more. We have Harmick says, surely we have other priorities. Yeah, I'd agree with that. We have Kaiju King 5717. I think it will be a good signing. Yeah, very interesting. Let me know why. Traore is still, this is from Victor HM. Traore is still young. Plus, he would free up and feed players like Kane and Son. Love the idea of Son, Kane, and Adama up top. It'd definitely be a tricky one to manage as well. Toffee 20, Adama will give space to Kane and Son, but will he pass them? Yeah, that's the truth. Can he pass them? Joe 27 says, evening guys, and hello to David and Jack. Hope everyone is okay. We're all good, Joey boy. I hope things are good with you, my man. We have Am Singh says, get in Adama. Big up, lads. Big yourself up. And this guy, my man, Tom from Wicklow, how are we? I hope things are good with you, my man. He says, big up, 6 points, 2 games. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely love it, Tom. Absolutely love it. We have Henry Sago says, it ain't happening, lads. Yeah, fair enough. Max says, I like Adama for 30 mil max. Yeah, the price would be one I don't want to spend too much. Luke Tilson Gray, big yourself up. Donna Anthony says, aloha. Tyler Mills says, we need a right back instead of midfielder who can pass the ball. Yeah, 100%. Jacob Nash says, hey guys, you all right? We're all good, my man. We're all good. So look, Jack, let's get into it. Let's get the first guest on. It's a channel regular. Everyone absolutely loves her. She's absolutely brilliant. She's a channel legend. So let's bring her on. And it's Ellie. Ellie, how are you keeping?
I'm really well, thank you. And I've got my new Spurs hat. And I'm Ellie Hoybier tonight.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Look, are you buzzing? What's your thoughts on yesterday's result?
Oh, my God. We were very lucky to get that win because Wolves battered us again. But we just, I don't know how we kept the ball out, but we, by hook or by crook, we kept it out the goal. Thank God.
Does that have to do with maybe the fitness, Ellie? Do you think maybe the reason, we maybe kept that 1-0 is just the fitness is a big difference?
A bit of fitness and a bit of very, very lucky. I think we were very lucky to get the 3 points because Wolves did deserve at least a point, if not the 3 points. But do you know what? Sometimes you've got to ride your luck in games. Sometimes you play brilliant and lose. So, swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
And let's say quickly, Ellie, let's say we got another maybe lucky result like that. Do you think maybe it isn't as much down to luck? Maybe it would be maybe down to maybe something else, despite maybe the football maybe not looking as great. Let's say we were to get another result like that. Could it just be down to just certain factors that are just making us better than the other team?
I think sometimes you just got to dig in, right? And use all your attributes. Like our defence is really organised now. We're not so leaky. You can see since Tanganga's come into the defence as well, he's doing so much leg work and he's tracking back. Hoybier's helping out, directing as usual. He's our director in front of the back four. And no, sometimes it is a little bit of luck, but sometimes it's a bit of skill as well because you've got to keep that ball out. Like when Adama Traore was in front of the goal and Lloris used his legs, that's not luck. That's anticipation.
Right.
Yeah. And all right, it wasn't of the best of shots, but he still kept it out. On other days, it might have trickled in under his leg, but he made sure. So sometimes you have to ride your luck and then you have to go forward and use all your skills in defence, especially because the midfield and the attack were brilliant. The defence is shored up now and you can tell the difference. Yeah.
Definitely. And then, Ellie, maybe bring yourself back to the last game. There was kind of, maybe a lack of creativity and maybe even possession as well, towards the, the second half. What do you maybe put that down to, that lack of possession, that lack of creativity? We just seem to struggle to hold on to the ball against Wolves.
I think our passing was a little bit hard at times, when a delicate pass could have been done, especially Dyer, when he was awful when he gave the ball away for Traore's chance. You got to play your passes, pick your passes. We did a couple of good moves and we kept the ball quite well on occasion, but most of our passing was a little bit less accurate and a little bit too hard. We needed a Glenn Oddle pass, didn't we? But we weren't getting it.
It's true. That's true. That's certainly
Yeah.
true.
It's true.
It is. But Ellie, back to Adama Traore. Is he a player that you want to see at Tottenham?
Yeah, do you know what? I think it'd be a good addition. Do you know why? Because he's a step up from Bergwijn, because he's got skill and he can create goals. I think if he's in front of goal himself, no, because he's not a finisher. But you think he can get past players like they're not there, and then cross to the players that can score. And his passing is very good. In comparison to some of our forward line, his passing is very good. He's quite accurate, and he finds his man. And I think Son and Kane would benefit a lot, because he's not just a powerhouse. He can pass as well. I've noticed that, and his skill set is amazing. You know, he just beats players with Bergwijn done that two-step when he went past the player, left him for dead. That was brilliant, but he doesn't do it enough. Whereas Traore, he does it 4, 5, 6 times a game. You know,
I think even in the case Bergwijn was in, I'm pretty sure they just wouldn't want to put Traore in that situation, because he doesn't even need to skill. He probably just break through, the all three of them just, walking through them. They probably would just make a hole for him, make a gate for him, But yeah, I do agree with you. In the case of Traore, he could actually, bring something a bit different, something a bit more dynamic. And even maybe Ellie, just another question on Traore. Are you saying maybe he could bring something a bit unselfish, maybe to the team?
Yes, because he's a team player. You can see it. They all love him. They give him the ball as well, because they know he can create panic. Right? He does panic stations when he's running at you. That big tank with his massive arms. Nobody wants to give him. Do you imagine Harry Winks trying to go near him? It just
Ellie, I think your camera's gone off there.
Oh dear. Hold on. What happened there?
Oh, there you are. Yeah, you're back. You're back.
You
need to stop moving about. You need to stop moving about.
She gets too excited, especially when Højbjerg comes into it, David, especially that,
I didn't even mention Højbjerg. I was mentioning Adama Traore. One hell of a man, isn't he? Bloody
he is.
hell.
Just in terms of Adama Traore as well, do you think that he's the man to maybe for the big games that we kind of need, like the likes of a Liverpool, a Chelsea, a City, that he can just pick up the ball deep, just drive at players and just rip them apart with different pace?
Yeah, I think he'll be good against any team, not just the big teams, though. Not to disagree with you, David, because I think your point is valid, but I think he can play good against the lower teams like Burnley, West Brom. No, West Brom have got relegated, sorry, West Brom fans. Right. No, but I think he can do well against the lesser teams, the middle teams and the higher teams, because he's got the skill set to beat any players. Mm-hmm. He has, but I think he'll flourish even more in our side, because we've got ballers who can do similar things than he can. Maybe not as dynamic, but you've got Lucas Moura. He's very good at doing what Traore does, but he's a little guy. If he's on the other side, he'll give us something different. He's a step up from Bergwijn, I think, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I'd go along with that too. I'd go along with he's a step up from Bergwijn. But do you not think his lack of end product is a cause for concern? Because I was thinking yesterday, I was saying yesterday, like, if you want someone with pace and strength, you just go and sign Usain Bolt.
Well, I disagree again. Do you know why? Because we had Modric, right, and he hardly scored any goals for us. I think
but he was a different sort of player.
Yeah, I agree, but I think you need players that create and can create panic. There's different players. There's the creatives who can pick out a pass, very creative. They're very visionary. And there's players that can run at players like Val used to do and create havoc. There's not enough of those players in the game today. So I think it will add a new dimension to our attack. Yeah. On the other side, you've got Moura, who can do what he does, but a little player. Then you've got the big player, 5 times bigger than Moura, on the other side. No one's going to go near him because they don't want to get broken leg or a broken head or a broken arm.
Yeah.
If if you collide with him, you're going to get something broken.
Maybe to quickly be good cop even about, Adama Traore, to maybe be on his good side about it. I would say, like, David, there's a reason they, look, what if you took Adama Traore out of that side, last game? It's not like they can just find another Adama Traore, it's not like not like they grow on trees, type of players. And as well as they relied on him, David. Like, it's not like, they were using Trincao as much as they were using Adama. They especially relied on Adama, to create things for them. So
because they trust him.
And the Wolves have been in the Premier League for quite some time. It's not like Adama Traore, again, is, contributing to, the goals or anything or in that department. But there's a reason why they continue to put him in the side. There's a reason why they continue to rely on him, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
No, 100%. Just for me, it's a bit like buying a bit more of an expensive Bergwijn in a way, because the output isn't great. I completely get what everyone's saying about him, creating havoc and ripping teams apart. And Jack, I have to agree, you make a very valid point. You nearly sold Traore to me there. But look, he's better than, he is an upgrade to Bergwijn, but I do think that the end product is a cause for concern. That's just my personal opinion on it. But look, he could very well up at a team like Tottenham. We don't know until he's given the chance. So, no, good point, Jack. Good point. Dark Sung G21 says the difference between Coco and Adama is that Adama can be really useful for counterattacks, which we can do great and is our style. Coco takes too long. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. He would fit into our style, Dark Sung G. Very quick counterattacks over the tops, over the balls over the top of the defense, and you can even give him the ball and let him run at team. So, look, it does give us another option. And, look, Jack, you do make a great point. And I think Ellie made a great point as well, saying, or the two of you make a great point saying that, you can't, there's no other Adama in the Premier League. So, no, it is a good option. Jack, do you want to say anything to Dark Sung G?
No, I think Dark Sun G, I'd like to know what you think about this, but I think the big difference is in the case of Adama Traore, he might be an even more effective, player coming off the bench than even Coco was. I know Coco, brought something different, and every time he come on, he would bring a bit of creativity. Maybe he wouldn't release the ball, in the right time, but he would also bring a bit of, intensity to the game, a bit of dynamism to the game. But I feel like in the case of Traore, let me know, Dark Sun G, whether you agree or disagree. But, I feel like him coming off the bench, Traore, he brings a very unselfish game, onto the field. He's willing to, get by his man no matter what, and just to put a ball into the box every single time. As well, he's fully capable of pressing. He's fully capable of, making it very difficult for, the defenders on the ball, trying to build out from the back. So I just think, he does a lot of, let's say, unselfish things on the pitch. But let me know what you think, Adama. And so I do agree with you. I think he might be just a better, alternative, to Coco for sure coming off the bench.
100%. And just quickly, Dark Sung G21 says, with Adama, hopefully Doherty can be useful. Honestly, Doherty, I think, is getting to the point where he's starting to be as useful as a wet paper bag. I'll be honest with you. I just don't think it's going to work out with Doherty. Look, he's Irish. Believe me, I want to back him. I just don't think don't think he's going to work at Tottenham. I'll be honest. I don't want to be overcritical. I don't want to be too harsh.
Here's the thing, David. Here's the thing quickly. Just on Doherty, I would just say, if he has Traore and Nuno back with him, and let's say a back three, and he's put in the right wing back position, if he doesn't survive in that situation, then if he doesn't, swim in that situation, then he's honestly gone.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. Big up, Dark Sun G. Really appreciate the support. Everyone else, if you want to jump the queue, like I said, we will always get everyone's comments up on screen. Don't worry about that. But if you want to jump the queue, get a super chat in, and it is a great way to help support the channel as well. But look, Ellie, and back to a question on you. This one's a little bit different. So look, it's been reported today that Daniel Levy is basically he's just refusing to sell Harry Kane to a Premier League club. Now, with the timing of it and such short time left in the market, do you think he genuinely means it, or do you think it's a ploy and a trick to try and get City to stump up the the 150 million?
Yeah, I agree with the second point, because he's a wheeler dealer, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's a Del boy. He wants the best for Spurs, so that he can use the 150 million to pay for his other yacht. That's a sarcastic comment then. you know what it is, right? He doesn't invest in the team. He gets players on loan. We know what Levy's like. Brian Daigle will back it up as well. He's going to wheel a dealer right to the end of the transfer market, and he'll do the same thing. He'll sell him to a Premiership club who's up and coming or who's established, right? Now, you can say Man United should be the team that buy him, ideally, because they've gone down a peg or two and they haven't done much in the last 2 or 3 years. Right, so Man City is his best option, Manchester Richie, as I call them. So if they stump up the 150, 160 million, Daniel Levy's going to take it. I'm telling you, he's going to take it.
Yeah.
He will.
Yeah. I hope not. I hope not.
I hope not as well, David, but it's the writing's on the wall, because you look back on the history of Daniel Levy, he always does it.
Yeah.
Our best player right at the end of the transfer market.
I know. We've seen it with Bear. We've seen it with.
He's done it all the time.
With Berbatov. Yeah, no, I agree. I just hope it's not the case, Ellie. I really
hope so
do.
as well.
I really do.
I'm praying that he changes his stripes, because Paratici has turned his head. You know.
I hope so. JP.
I'm putting my cross.
Stop. Just quickly, JP says, how do I call in? Look, the priority is members, the white membership, if you have it. If there is time towards the end, we do open it up to everybody, but there's not usually time. So I would suggest getting the membership, my man. But look, if you have any social media or that, email me and I'll see what I can do in future. JP. Jack, have you any more questions there you want to ask, Ellie?
No, I think, Ellie, with Ndombele, maybe a player in a similar situation to Harry Kane, but obviously doesn't have nearly as much credit in the bank as Harry Kane does with the fans. With Ndombele, as plenty of people are starting to call him, do you feel like you would sell him for maybe half the price that maybe he's worth, to a team like Bayern who are heavily interested? Or maybe would you sell him for, let's say, maybe the whole price, the price that maybe he really should be valued at?
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm so sad about Ndombele. Very sad, because I love him as a player, but I don't think he's cut out for the Premiership. He just doesn't want to get fit. And that they're not going to put up with him, because you can't be brilliant in training and then when you turn up on the pitch, you turn up for 60 minutes. And out of that, really, he's not turning up for the 60 minutes. But the things that he does are exceptional. The goal against Sheffield United, that was like a genius goal. That was Glenn Hoddle-esque. If Glenn Hoddle had scored that goal, we would all be raving about it, because Ndombele's got a mixed bag, hasn't he, of fans that love him and fans that think he's a lazy git. But the thing is, he is a lazy boy, right? Yeah. But there's lots of players that have been lazy, right, at Spurs, but they've produced, and what they've produced is exceptional. But with him, he's not doing the exceptional stuff enough for us to warrant to keep him. Yeah. Because if he was doing it every single match for 90 minutes, yes, but he's not.
Do you think it's maybe just not enough for the manager? Because I think, plenty of people, when they watch, Tanguy play, they actually love watching him. Even, some of Tanguy's haters, you might say, when he is playing, they still, kind of in a sense, do praise him and, do realize, what he's capable of. But do you feel like maybe what's happening is, the likes of Jose, Pochettino, Nuno now, they're just kind of sick of, maybe he's a fan favorite, but, he's certainly not a manager favorite. Do you think that's what it's becoming?
Yeah, he's not a manager favourite, because they see him in training and he performs like miracles. Everybody raves about him. They said he's the best trainer they've ever seen. Right? So
I think he's the best in five-a-side in training. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because obviously he wants to get picked, doesn't he, for the first 11. He doesn't want to be on the subs bench or not put into the team at all, because it's embarrassing for him. Because everybody in his own country is probably saying, you've got so much talent. Why are you staying at Spurs? And they're dragging him away. And now, like he came out and said about Sissoko and Aurier leaving, they're his friends. But you can't have friends in football like that. You've got to knuckle down and produce week in, week out. You can't be a bit player. I'm not saying he's a bit player, because his bit is better than all the other players, but it's not enough. He's not doing it enough and affecting the games as well as we know he can. Because when he produces, boys, he's brilliant, isn't he? What a magical talent.
The problem is, though, you have to entice him with a Burger King, and that's the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, look, I'll be honest with you. I think the guy is shat all over the badge. You know, he's happy to take his 200 a week, but he's not happy to get out there and perform. So look, for me, I just want to cut my losses. I want to get rid of him, to be honest with you. I have one more.
Shame. It is a shame.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's a talent in there. Look. Yeah, but at the same time, you know, they have to want to produce the talent themselves. It's not up to us to beg them to get out. I'm not going to go to Ndombele, like a McDonald's burger under his nose and say, come on, you know, produce. I'm not going to do it. At the end of the day, he want to play for Tottenham Hotspur. So, look, at the end of the day, get him gone. Get him gone. Last question for you, Ellie. Do you think we can overturn the 1-0 loss to Pacos de Ferreira this Thursday?
Of course we can. No problem. I think we'll win 5-0, actually. That's my score prediction. So if it doesn't go like that way, don't come and after me. You know what I mean? You know where I live. No, you don't know where I live, but you know where I live, what area. So don't come tracking me down. But I honestly think we're going to win 5-0 because we've got the players. We can put a few first teamers in, and it's going to affect the game a lot more. Like maybe play Son. Play Bergwijn, and maybe some defenders, maybe Rodon, if he's fit, bring him back in, give him a game, because we want to see how Rodon is with Tanganga as well. I think Rodon and Tanganga will be better than Sanchez and Tanganga, in my opinion, because I think Rodon's more solid. And then I just think we're going to win, you know, because if he plays Kane, especially, bloody hell, we'll easily win.
Yeah, 100%.
Might have him on the subs bench as well, you know, as a reserve.
Yeah, look, he could even start, to be honest with you.
I hope he does.
He might. Well, look, Ellie, thanks very much for coming on this evening. I really appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure.
Cheers,
Thank you for having me again.
No, I really appreciate it. And look, hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Sit back, have a glass.
Yeah, enjoy yourself tonight, Ellie.
Thank you, darlings. And good luck with the rest of the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to
more than welcome to come into the comments and chat away, you know what I mean?
I will do this time.
No worries.
Last time I fell asleep. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. Do whatever you please now, Ellie. Do whatever you please.
Get a beauty sleep. You know what I mean?
Definitely need it.
A hard week, you know what I mean? We've all been there. Do not worry about it whatsoever. Come on, the Harris Army.
Harris Army.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Ellie. I'll see you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night, Ellie. See ya.
Bye. Good.
Absolute legend, Ellie. Thank you so much for coming on. Everyone really enjoys her when she comes on. She's absolutely brilliant. Jack, we've 2 super chats to get to. And then we're going to get on another channel legend in Philip, a guy that's becoming very popular that everyone wants to hear from. So first of all, we take Dark Sun G 21's super chat here, Jack. And he says, remember Coco cost us many games while we countered. Coco was selfish, takes a million years and shoots when he can't score. I would take Adama. Yeah, look, 100%. You're definitely right on Coco. I'm not even going to argue that. I was just comparing Adama's stats to Coco stats. That's all I was doing, just looking at it. But no, I'm never going to stick up for Coco in that regard. I just don't. Do you know what it is, Dark Sun G? I just don't want another Lamela. I don't want another. Although Bergwijn still has time on his side, I just don't want any more players who just don't produce end product when that's what we're buying them for. That's just where I'm at with it, Jack. Anything you want to say, Dark Sun G?
I just would say maybe if you're going to have a player that doesn't produce end product, David, it seems like Adama Traore might be the best version of it. He really is like, he just causes teams nightmares. He really is like, at least statistically, he has an incredible take on, ratio, has an incredible aerial duels ratio. He just does a really good job at, just helping his teammates maybe score, helping his teammates, maybe create. And he just does a lot of the things that, a lot you can't really ask of certain players. And if Bergwijn isn't producing, if Coco isn't producing, even if Adama isn't producing, Adama is just going to continue to just take it down the byline time after time after time and maybe do his job that way. Maybe it's a bit overpriced, for what we might be paying for him to do that. But I will say, if you're going to relegate a player to near nothingness in terms of productivity, I would say Adama is the best one.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Dark Sung G, you're an absolute champ, my man. Absolute champ. Let me know what time it is over there. I'm sure it's another late one for you, or is it the early morning? Are you getting up for work?
Big up, Dark Sung G.
Let me know. We have a super chat from David. Big up, David. I hope things are good with you. Greatest name on planet Earth. Absolute name of champions. Says, someone pay me 200k a week. I'll stop eating McDonald's, exercise to be match fit, shine your shoes, watch your kids, and make you breakfast every day. Absolutely love that. Yeah, 100%. Look, there's a lot of things I do for 200k a week. I'll be honest with you. And then I play for Spurs for free on the weekends and that. You know what I mean? Just because we love the club. Absolutely love the comment. That's very witty, Jack. Anything you want to say to David?
I would even say, David, on 200k a week, considering what you might be able to afford, from, your fitness trainer, with the fitness regime and everything, you could still even eat, the odd burger, every week, David, and still be, like Holland fit, still be CR7, kind of fit. It doesn't, need to be some ridiculous, nutritional diet. I mean, even look at whatever it was. I think Man United, David, they listed, their pre-match meals, and all these guys are eating burgers, fries, all before the games, puddings, whatever it is. It really is shocking, considering, these players. I think it just has to do with, how good a shape are they in? How many calories do they, burn, David? And in the case of Tanguy, I don't think he probably burns a lot. So, he needs to stay away from it.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. David, I really appreciate the support, my man. Really, really do appreciate it. And Dark Sung G.
Big up, David.
Feel free to help support the channel. Get the super chats in. Like I said, if you want to jump the queue, we will be getting everyone's comments on. Just welcome a few more people in. We have Archie Paget. Says, do you think Adama would be better with other players around him? Yeah, look, there's definitely that argument, my man. Definitely that argument. We have Keith Ball. Says, my opinion is Kane stays this season, and when Mbappe leaves PSG next summer, and PSG will come for Kane. Yeah, 100%. That could definitely. I was actually saying something similar to you the other day, Jack. I was saying something similar to Jackie the other day. Dom J says Ndombele. Absolutely love it. We have Imad Hussein. Mary McGee says, according to Google's news earlier, is that Pep is preparing for life without Kane. Jesus is lining up to take the job for striker. Yeah, 100%. We have John Murphy and says, don't be silly, Kane will not go. I hope not, my man. Big up, lads. Ellie knows her stuff. She definitely does, Shawnee boy. Who else have we got? Dylan Harris, big yourself up, my man. Says, I think Nuno wants people that will work for the team. Unfortunately, Ndombele doesn't like to track back and run. Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more with that, Dylan. And I'm not just saying that just because we're related either, but it's a great comment, my man. 100%. He doesn't want to do the donkey work, he doesn't want to do the work, the graft, the Heiberg and Ollie Skip get through. Dylan, if you ever want to come on, my man, just get in contact and I'll get you on that. Don't ever worry about that. Jack, can we have another super chat to go to here, and then we will get on Dermy, or not Dermot, Philip. Dermot, you are asking, can you come on? Yeah, of course, my man. Of course you can. You're a white membership anyway, so I think the link is up in the community section if you do want to come on. Paul Markey says Traore and Bergwijn are the same headless chickens. We have bought Gill. Why are we looking at another winger? It's defenders and creative midfielder we need. Yeah, look, it does come a bit of a surprise when there are other positions that I think we definitely need to get in first, aka a centre midfielder and a right back anyway, 100%. I think I don't think a second centre back would be nice, but I think with the way this window seems to be shaping up, you have Rodon, Romero, you have Dyer and Sanchez. So they'll be kept there as your four choices. Me, after Tanganga, we have Mr. Hollywood and Doherty, and we have Bobo the Clown and Orior. I want them two. I'm not happy with them two, so I would like another right back, and then I would like another centre midfield option, a tempo setter, my man Paul Markey, before we even think about going forward. Because for me, you build a solid base first, and then you can build going forward. Because right now we have Kane and Son; they'll always get you goals. But Jack, do you want to say that to Paul Markey?
No, I mean, I'm going to be a bit more optimistic about Traore. I would say, Bergwijn, maybe he deserves a bit, maybe another 6 or 7 months, to prove us wrong. I don't think he deserves, a huge clock of time, considering what we paid for him. I don't think he deserves too much time, but I would say give him till January, like a lot of players, maybe not as harshly, like other players give him till January, but definitely give him till January. But as well, I would say Traore, if we were to get him, I'd be a bit more optimistic. Yes, I do think, we have a very, I would say, difficult, home player ratio, to foreign player ratio. But, if Traore maybe, wouldn't be my first choice in terms of players to bring in if we only could bring so many players that are not homegrown. But, at the same time, I will say, maybe the center mid tempo kind of player, David, maybe the midfielder position, I would probably bring in maybe someone from a foreign league for. But again, I'm trying to be optimistic about some of the signings that we're doing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, look, I agree with you. Look, we should be optimistic. Sometimes we get starved in the window. Big up, Paul Mark. I really do appreciate the support, my man. You're top man. Everyone else, feel free to, jump the queue in the comment section and get a super chat in if you want to jump the queue. Let's bring on the next guest. He's an absolute legend. And guys, we won't be asking for his thoughts on yesterday's game because he actually done the review with us. So there's no need. We all know his thoughts. So look, we'll just ask his thoughts on the transfer window and stuff like that. Big up, Philip. How are you keeping, my man?
Hi, David. Hi, Jack. How are you?
Big up, Philip.
We're all good. What's the mood like today?
Yeah, all right. Didn't like the West Ham result, but sure, what can you do?
Yeah, 4-1, I think it finished. Yeah.
Leicester the man sent off, apparently. So,
yeah.
The transfer thing today is quite interesting with Spurs seem to be stepping up the hunt for Traore. He's not what we need, but it could be what we're going to get. I agree with you. I think we need a ball playing midfielder and we need a couple more defenders. But apparently, we tried to get, or what you call him, the Italian guy's name I keep forgetting. The new, go on, remind me, lads. It's a Monday night and it's late. The director of football.
Oh, Paratici.
Paratici, yeah. Tried to sign him for Juventus. So he obviously likes the guy. The only thing I'll say about him, he is a bit of a headless chicken. His end product isn't good. But if he's got players with the likes of Son and Kane, hopefully, playing up alongside him, they're going to bring the best out of him. Like, no offense to Wolves, but he's not playing with players of that quality at the moment. He's playing with good players, but he's not playing with world-class players. And they can always bring the best out of him. And like, I'd be kind of surprised if we signed him, but I'd be a little bit excited as well as to what he could actually do if he actually got his head up and started looking around what to do with the ball rather than just running into the nearest blind alley,
Yeah. Would you agree with me, Philip, by saying he's a bit of like more of an unselfish player, which is kind of maybe why he doesn't show up with, maybe the tons of goals or, assists? Of course, he's not a talented finisher. It's not like, he's unselfish because, he likes to play the pass. It has to do with maybe him not being able to finish. But do you just feel like he does a lot of things that maybe, let's say unproductive players wouldn't do?
Yeah, true. Although I do remember he scored a cracker against us a couple of seasons ago.
I think he's better at scoring outside the box than he is inside
the box.
He
hit a cracker the game we won 3-2, So, yeah, I mean, he might be a little bit unselfish. I think he needs work on his end pass, though. I mean, he is a bit like Coco Lamela, who scored again tonight, by the way. That's 3-2.
No way.
In the 93rd minute, he scored the winner for Seville. So he came on as a sub. Yeah, but that's not typical. Players leave Spurs and they go on an absolute bender,
And they'll probably win a cup this season too, Seville.
Yeah. No, he'd probably win a couple of cups this season for them.
They're the Europa League, they're Europa League Meisters. Maybe Lamela might win a Europa League or something. Yeah.
I hope he does. Good luck to him. He was a good servant to Spurs. Wasn't always with injuries and whatever. Didn't give us probably as much as he could, as he maybe should have done with that. But when he was on the pitch, he fought for that badge. So good luck to him.
And look, that's all we ask for, Philip, as well, isn't it? Just quickly on that, because that's a very good point. Is even if it's not working out with players and okay, things haven't worked out and whatever, that just when they do play, they give their all. That's all we ask for.
That's it. I mean, you can't. I mean, a player who's not trying, who doesn't track back, who throws his eyes up to heaven or his arms to one side as a player goes by him. I don't want players like that at Spurs.
Yeah.
You want players that, when kissing the badge means something other than just a photo opportunity. So I mean, we've got the likes of Heung-min Son. Again, I said last night, that guy's got Spurs blood in his veins. He would die for the club. Yeah. Højbjerg, he's only with us a season, but he's on legendary status at the moment, Mm-hmm. And you've got Hugo Lloris quietly 8 or 9 seasons with us. Another guy that lives and breathes Spurs. And then you've got the likes of Ndombele, who lives and breathes McDonald's.
Look, go on, have your say on him. Apparently Bayern the only team interested.
I have to laugh when I see the likes of Bayern Munich and Juventus supposedly looking for him. Are they trying to get him on a free transfer? Because they're not going to pay what we paid for him. Not a hope. And two options there: we sell him at a cut price and a big cut price, and get him out of the club, and that's it, gone. Or we keep him at the club, and he's sniping away. He's dropping comments every so often, undermining his status. Why isn't he in the first team? So my reaction was to him: this is your 3rd season. You haven't really cut it. Thanks for what you have done, but bye and good luck wherever you're going.
You might make the defenders better, Philip. You might say just keep it around. It certainly makes the defenders better with some of the skills that he has. Some of the vision that he has. So even if he is just Indom Lardas, at the end of the day, he is going to be able to have that vision still, the techer still. So he might make moon boots, and GPS Sanchez at least a little better every single training session. The
problem is, I've no doubt, like Eric Lamela, he'd probably go to whatever club he goes to and be an absolute sensation.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it is with Spurs. I just didn't agree with him,
Yeah.
But we've been pretty unlucky with Frenchmen, I have to say, over the years.
It's probably just those Levy talks that we saw in the Amazon Prime, documentary, those riveting Levy, motivational speeches that they're probably all, victim to, probably just turns other players, the other way.
Do you know what it is?
I think they fell asleep during them.
Yeah, I fell asleep during it, David. Philip.
No, brilliant. Well, look, we 2 super chats to get to here, Philip. We'll get on to them, and then I do want to hear your thoughts and what players you think that we should be getting in, or not even players, but what positions you think we really do need to buy in that maybe concerns you. And everyone else that's watching, that's in the chat, make sure you get your opinions in as well. We want to hear your answers. Make sure you do smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you're new. Dark Sun G21 says, Mr. Easy Pass for Kang Lee, please Paratici, make it happen. Jack, I believe, I think it was actually David that mentioned this to you earlier on, was it, in one of your comments?
I know David, the other brilliant David in the comments. I know he's a big fan of, Kang In Lee or Lee Kang In. He's honestly an absolute baller, David. He plays for Valencia. I think he's probably now 20 years old or 21. I think he's only 20 years old. He's a South Korean player who plays for Valencia. He's like a right wing kind of striker player, David, left footed. Honestly, an absolute baller. He's just a guy that will practically do anything he wants to embarrass you. But he's been kind of maybe fairly mistreated, I would say, by the hierarchy of Valencia. Also been kind of mistreated by coaches. They haven't given him plenty of opportunities, I would say. But I will say, if the highlight reels and, some of the goals and assists that he's had, I mean, this guy just embarrasses people for fun. So I will say, if I were to trade Mr. Easy Pass, Dark Sun G, for, Lee Kang In or Kang In Lee, it'd be unbelievable. I mean, you're just trading, David. It's bronze for gold.
It is.
And saying bronze, for Mr. Easy Pass is quite a compliment.
No, it is. It is. Absolutely love it, Dark Sun G, my man. Thank you for the support. Then we just have the usual bit of Philip loving going on here in the chat. People absolutely loving what he has to say. Big up, everybody. Tom THFC, the man from Wicklow, says, come on, you Spurs. Big up. Great start to the season. 100%, Tom. And look, I really appreciate the support, my man. But look, what better start to the season could we have had? If someone said to you at the start of the season, we'd beat City 1-0, we'd beat Wolves 1-0, we'd keep 2 clean sheets, and we'd come out with 6 points, honestly, you would have snapped his hand off. So I'm absolutely delighted with the start, Tom. absolute legend. And you still have to let me know what part of Wicklow you're from. You still haven't disclosed that, my man. So let me know what part of Wicklow you're from. I do quite a bit of hiking up there with the owl lad. Tin Man 007 says, guys, we need a creative player, a right back, a centre back, and a striker, maybe 2 if Kane leaves. If we only had to make 2 signings, which of these do we need most? Well, look, I tell you what, we'll let Philip answer it, and then look, I'll come in with a quick my 2 positions, and we'll let Jack in off the back of that as well quickly. But I want to let Philip answer this because it is the next question we're going to ask. So take it away, Philip.
Yeah, well, I think we do need a creative player. Now, whether we have one on the books and he hasn't just been utilised in that role yet, who knows? That's Giovanni Lo Celso. I think he's got the ability to be the number 10, but he hasn't really been played in that position too much. And Ndombele could be it if he could be half-arsed to do it, but he doesn't want to do it. Like, who are we going to get at this stage? I mean, there's 8 days left in the transfer window, 7 days left, 8 days left. We're not going to get any of the English guys like Ward-Prowse or Maddison from Leicester. I mean, because what's going to happen now is Levy, any phone call that Levy makes to a club to buy a player this week, the price goes up 10 million quid straight away.
Do you think
we're panicking?
Maybe we are going for the wrong man off Wolves then, that we should be going for a Neves?
Yeah. If you had to, put a gun to my head and ask me which one would I go for, yes, I think Neves would be a better. I suppose the best way I could describe Traore, he's probably a luxury player, and I think at the minute we probably just don't have the space for a luxury player. We need a more practical player, a more productive player, one with a guaranteed end result, which you're probably going to get from him maybe 3 times out of 10, but we need more than that.
Yeah, well said.
We need, like, if Harry Kane leaves, like, I don't know, again, it looks like he's going to stay. But again, like every other season, last season we had your man from Benfica, as a backup player. He's gone. Vinicius, yeah. Again, getting a striker, we're not going to get any English-based striker. We should have gone for Danny Ings instead of him going to Villa. I mean, he's hit the ground running with Villa. But then again, there's a problem. Southampton don't take phone calls from Levy, as far as I can gather. I think there's a bit of a problem there too, based on prior experience. So, yeah, I think I would have said we've got 4 centre-backs at the moment that I can, we've got the Sanchez, Dyer, Rodon, and Romero. I'd say we'll probably be okay with those 4. A right back, Tanganga, I think, can fill in that role, but I wouldn't mind getting another right back in just in case. We know we've all been singing these praises and all this, that, and the other, but there's injuries and there's lack of form, and that could hit him. And if that happens, then we're stuck with your favourite player, Doherty.
It should be yours too, Philip. The Irish lad.
He is. There again, that's another bit of the jigsaw. If Traore did come in, linking up with Doherty could be a great partnership up the right wing there. You just don't know. There's so many, pieces in the jigsaw that could be filled in, But I think at the minute, the best thing we can hope for is that we maybe get one more player in, be it Traore or be it some of these guys from Italy that we've been talking about, and that Harry Kane stays. I think we're probably okay if we can, manage that. What I don't want to see is at 5-11 next Tuesday night, big banner on Sky Sports. We were right, lads. He's gone to City.
Don't do it. I'm on Matty Hayes' channel for the last hour next week for the Skies for the transfer deadline. If that happens, I'm just going to have to leave.
If that happens and we don't have a replacement, I can see they'll be marching with torches down Tottenham High Road.
100%. 100% fans will be going mad outside the ground. 100%. I fully agree with you there. Tin Man, big yourself up. I hope you enjoyed Philip's answer. I certainly did. For me, look, just quickly, I'm going to go right back and I'm going to say another centre midfielder, but not just an ordinary. I want a tempo setter, a guy that's comfortable on the ball. That's who I want. And Jack, what about you? What position?
I agree more with that tempo setter, Dave, but with what Tin Man has presented me for the options, I will say maybe right back and center back. And for the right back, considering flatcapeurotalk, I have to be informed. I would go for Junior Sambia from Liga, from Montpellier. And I would trade him, with Serge Aurier. And I would show him Serge Aurier, what the club of Montpellier would be look like. Me, a nice swap deal, looking tasty.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Good options there, Tin Man. Tim, man, if you have any ideas what players you think we can get, do put in there and let us know. And that goes to the rest of the Harris Army as well, guys. So, look, Philip, looking forward to a bit on Thursday. What sort of squad would you put out on Thursday? And do you see us overturning it, or do you see one of these European shocks that we seem to be getting used to?
I think the march down Tottenham High Road could be on Thursday night if we don't win. No, we should. We should be. Like, I mean, he's going to have to change the team a little bit. You know, he's going to have to maybe bring in a couple of more of the stronger players. I play Lucas Moura, someone that's going to run directly at these guys. You know, and maybe maybe another maybe Bergwijn as well. I don't think he'll play Kane, because I'm just looking there. Paco lost again tonight. They lost 3-1 at home to maybe it was away and to Estoril. So, I mean, why I don't know why they play their matches on a Monday night and us on a Thursday. It seems strange, you know, that they didn't play on a Sunday. But anyway, they lost again, so that's them gone. So I would think, no, we'll win. We have to win. I mean, it would be the ultimate embarrassment. It'd be worse than Zagreb. Because at least in Zagreb, we were away and had some excuse. Playing at home in front of a crowd, we lose to this lot. Jesus, I just don't want to think of the consequences, you know.
I don't think any of us do. I don't think any of us do. It'll be an absolute disaster. So it will. Jack,
we'll have all the Arsenal fans tuning in here instead of us going to Arsenal.
Do you know what? I never mind an Arsenal fan or two tuning in. It's nice to tie with them, but not when we lose. It's unbearable when we lose. I feel like strangling their necks. It really annoys me, and we have to keep it up where we can keep going in there and annoying them. Absolutely love it. Jack, have you any more questions for Philip, my man?
I feel like we only have time for maybe a couple more questions for Philip, Dave. So I will say, Philip, you know, do you feel like there's a solution to maybe us having, you know, this issue with maybe holding the ball in midfield, you know, maybe keeping possession, you know, maybe having creativity in the midfield? Do you think there's a solution? Does it have to come from the transfer market, or can it just be, you know, a bit of just a team selection thing or a tactical thing? What do you think it is?
Well, I mean, with so little time to go in the transfer market, I think the chances of getting in a creative midfielder who can dictate things is pretty slim. So I think we're going to have to make do what we've got. Groom Lo Celso into that role.
Because
let's face it, we've got pace to burn up front. All we want is a guy that can pick a pass. And there's not many teams can live with the pace. And now we've got Brian Hill in as well. If he settles in, I mean, he actually could be a bigger threat than Traore is, with an end result.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we bring in Traore, what's that saying to Brian Hill? You know,
true.
Send out the wrong vibes, you know, to him and affect his performance. But no, I think give Lo Celso the job, see how he does in it, and you know, have him have Winks and Højbjerg, you know, shielding him, covering him, and give him the time on the ball. And you know, I think he could be the guy, you know. And as long as we've got the firepower up front, and I hope Son isn't too badly hurt. Like, I know there's talk he might have a slight injury from yesterday. Like, he won't be playing on Thursday, but hopefully he's fit for Sunday. And one thing I'm going to say about this, horrible thing to say, but purely selfish in Spurs' behalf. If Son has got an injury, let's hope he doesn't be flying off playing some meaningless game for Korea. And let's hope the Argentinian guys aren't flying off around the world. Because my concern is, knowing our luck, some of them are going to come back with a bad injury. And, you know, what can you do? The transfer window is closed. But that's
I will say, Philip, man, Dark Sun G, let us know, Dark Sun G. But I will say, you know, I think, you know, I feel like Son Heung-min, you know, he's made of the Vikings blood. You know, if he's really hurt, you know, he's hurt, you know, you would let us know if he's hurt. You know, it's kind of like Højbjerg, where, you know, he's just, you know, he does maybe the precautionary things, you know, just to make sure, you know, it doesn't get worsened, the injury. But I'm pretty sure if he were really hurt, you know, he wouldn't be going to that game. And if he is going to that game, I think he's just doing it just out of, you know, his own pride, and also, you know, just to be able to play more football, because he can't get enough of it, hopefully.
But it's just, we have so many players going off to various countries. You know, we're probably more exposed than a lot of clubs are. And I always worry that
a lot of them might not actually be able to travel, though, because from the UK, there's a lot of countries on the red list that, like, the Argentinian players were called up. But if they travel, they have to go through all the quarantine when they get back and everything. So they might not be allowed to travel.
Oh, great! That's marvelous. That's one advantage of the present predicament with travel restrictions. Yeah, that's good because I mean, okay, it's nice to play for your country, but we pay their wages. Spurs pay their wages, and I think that's for the like. How many times have players gone off on international duty and got absolutely put out for the season?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, look, Philip, thank you so much for coming on, my man. As usual, everyone absolutely loves you. Everybody, get in the comment section and let Philip know how much you really enjoys his thoughts. Philip, is there anything else you want to say before we let you go, my man?
No. Well, just one thing I saw on social media today. Somebody just go back to Traore again. Somebody compared him to. He says he's Musa Sissoko light. I'm still trying to figure that one out. So I'll leave that one with you.
I don't know. I don't want to think those
I
thoughts
just
yet.
can't make
I
it
can't
out.
think those thoughts yet. I can't. You don't want to think that. I would say if I were to spend the price that we did on Sissoko for Traore, I think Traore would, get us a lot more than Sissoko did. But
just one thing. I'll finish on this. This is the first time in a long time we haven't heard the name Harry Winks mentioned all night.
Oh yeah, and then you bring it up, Philip, and then you bring it up just to ruin David's evening as well. David's evening.
The man who shall not be talked about for me.
Shall not be talked to. Shall not be named.
Mr. Non-applicable.
Yeah.
Philip always bringing the first anyway. The first. Big up.
So, right, listen, lads. See you soon.
See you, Philip. We'll be seeing you soon for the previews.
I appreciate it, my man. I'll see you soon, Philip. See you soon, my man. Big up, Philip, guys. What an absolute legend. What a character. We all love him here. He's absolutely brilliant. Look, we will get on the next guest, so we'll get him on. And it's another channel legend. He's doing the rounds lately. He's starting to get on more debates and everything else. He's starting to get on We Are Tottenham TV as well. We might have to slap a transfer fee on him. But Jack, it's our man, Brad Matthews.
How you doing, everyone? How you doing? All right?
Big up, Brad. How are things?
Yeah, I've got my agent. He's just sitting over there. So, yeah.
Don't say the wrong thing, Brad.
Tell him I won't let you go for less than 25 mil, lad.
Anyway, well, it's a Monday, which is never a good day. But when Spurs win, and I have this show to look forward to, it's good. I'm good. And we've also got Friday off at work, so we've got a long weekend. So yeah, only 3 more working days to go.
No, what more do you want, lad? What more do you want? A nice short for you, and the 3 points leading into another game at the weekend where we should getting another 3 points. You really are living life, my man. But look, what's your thoughts on yesterday's game?
I'm very pleased with the win. I thought we defended better than I've seen us defend in those sort of circumstances. We were under the cosh for the first 10-15 minutes, but then we seemed to adapt and we seemed to get better. And I'm no tactical genius, but towards the end of the game, I was feeling a lot more confident with our ability to defend a 1-goal lead. And we always look that we're capable of scoring as well. And I think that if you actually look at the cold hard facts, they had 1 presentable chance, which Traore missed. And we had 3 or 4 that I can think of. I mean, Kane should have scored. Son should have scored. Both were through on goal. And a couple of shots that were just sort of blocked on that. But no, I thought we play. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. We do need room to improve. We need to be able to hold on to the ball a little bit longer when we're under those sort of to reduce the pressure. And we do need to win the second ball a lot more as well. But no, I was quietly confident. I mean, during the game, I was probably like this, but in hindsight, it was actually, I thought it was actually quite a good, if flawed, performance.
100%. Are you maybe concerned about our lack of being able to keep possession a bit longer?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, because that was one thing under Pochettino that you always knew we were going to have a lot of possession and hold the ball, even if we might not be able to break defenses down. You knew that we would hold the ball for a bit, and when you've got the ball, then they can't score against you. So when you're 1-0 up, if you keep the ball, then they ain't going to score. So I found that, we didn't do that as well. We didn't do it well last season, to be honest. And we put ourselves under unnecessary pressure because of that. So we do need that. Now, whether we can use the players we've got in the squad, or as I believe, we probably do need a central midfielder, a creative player, whatever the version of Pirlo is now, that sort of player who can just get the ball, just sit on the ball, slow things down, dictate the tempo, do that. But in this market and for the price, are we likely to get that? I don't know.
Yeah, there's not really anyone out there that springs to mind that I think will be affordable and that I think we'll get done over the next week or two. I think we're just going to have to suffer, and maybe hopefully we can mold ourselves into doing it or something like that. What about the lack of creativity? Look, I know we create a lot of clear-cut chances on the break and stuff like that. But what about when we, because teams will find us out. They will get used to our tactics. What do we do then? Are you maybe concerned a bit by the lack of creativity, or do you think that'll be solved now that Kane will be staying and introduced into the team and so on?
It does concern me because we're going to face a team on Sunday, Watford, who are probably going to defend. So whereas haven't had much possession in the last two games, Man City, fully acceptable. They're a good team. Wolves less so, but against Watford, we're going to hopefully be on the attack, and we're going to have to break them down. And at the moment, apart from getting teams on the counter with our pace, we haven't got anyone to unlock. If you've got two Wolves of four players, we haven't really got people. I know that Lo Celso can thread a pass through, Dele Alli can thread a pass through, and although he won't play playing on Sunday, and then Ndombele can thread a pass through. So we have got players that can do it, but whether they can do it consistently over a game. Although I will say that if I remember rightly, I think we signed Ericsson on the last day of the transfer window. So where there's time, there's still hope. But yeah, that does concern me that our strength at the moment has been able to sort of soak up some pressure and then get teams on the break. And I like the way we've been doing that. As I think I've said before, we're not playing as deep as we did last season under Mourinho. We're playing more further up the pitch. But yeah, when we've got two banks of four against us, that's going to be a bit of a problem. I mean, even last season we had Bale that could do that ball, that sort of thing. With Kane and so on. But yeah, it is a concern, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Just quickly, we'll get to this super chat, Brad. And another thing is we have 204 people watching. Some people are being stingy out there. Come on, that like button is free, guys. That like button is free. Just absolutely slap it. It really helps out the channel, helps out the show big time. You have no idea. It's free. It takes 1 second. Smash that like button. And Chris is telling everyone in the comments to do it. So get on it. Do what Chris tells you to do. As I let him off the leash and send them after you. Big up, boy. Dark Sun G21 says, Sun called for the World Cup qualifier. If the Argentinians for Spurs go, then have to quarantine, they would miss the Chelsea game. That's bad. Yeah, it could be worse. They could miss the Palace game, the Chelsea game, and the Arsenal game. So it's a big concern. Even Sonny could. I'm not sure whether Korea are on the red list in terms of for England. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's concerning. I don't know what's going to go on there. Look, if I was Tottenham, I would do what Liverpool done today, reject the call-up. And because at the end of the day, you have to protect yourself. You can't be letting these players go, quarantining, all this sort of jazz. So for me, look, it's a bad situation. It's actually turning into a mess. And I'll be honest with you, I think FIFA and that would have already had something in place. Why do you wait until an international break comes along? Then, waiting for the panic and trying to fix it and whatever else. Should have had something already in place. It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute mess, Dark Sun G. Jack, what's your thoughts on it quickly, my man?
No, I would just think that, in the case of Sonny, he's just such a vital and important player. In fact, maybe at this moment, maybe the most important player, for Spurs, despite, Kane, of course, being, having all the attention recently. Sonny is the new face of Spurs. He's the loyal man for Spurs. He's the man that bleeds Spurs. He's basically Spurs' one of Spurs' best players as well. So if he were to leave and go to as a World Cup qualifier, I do think that would mean that he would have to be able to return, for his games after the international break. So, it just seems like, a type of player, David, where they would have to know exactly what the protocol is, exactly what he would need to do in order to be back, and playing with the squad. But it is very much a mess. And I do agree, especially in the case of the Argentinian players, if they were to leave. But Dark Sun G, really pick yourself up as well. I do appreciate it, Dark Sun G, for letting us know, giving us your answer for the previous question.
Do they have to undergo quarantine, or are they classed as elite sportsmen, and maybe they only have to do a negative test when they get back?
As far as I'm concerned, anything in the red zone. Anything in the red zone is mandatory quarantine. That's as far as I'm concerned. That's as far as I'm aware. And there are a lot of people making big issues about it today. Like you said, Mo Salah, Liverpool rejected his call up for the first game for Egypt. He's allowed to play the second one because where it's based, and they're on the amber list or whatever list it is. But if you're on the red list, it's quarantine no matter what.
Well, then we've got every right to say no, you're not going, or
yeah.
I mean, it's hard, but that's I know Sonny loves playing for Korea, and the Argentinian guys probably love playing for their country as anyone would do. But yeah, if it's a red list, a red list country, then say, well, look, sorry guys, that's the way it is. It's the way of the world.
That's two people upsetting Dark Sung G. That's Philip and Brad now. The two of them upsetting Dark Sung G. He says Korea plays the Middle East teams, which is tough. Yeah,
maybe that's what he's saying. Even because a lot of them, a lot of countries in the Middle East have really suffered from really high rates of infection. David, a lot of people in the Middle East, haven't had the same levels of access, to the vaccinations as other countries have. So that might be also another reason, as maybe what he's I'm not sure, Dark Sunji, let me know. But I think what he means by this is, Sonny were to play, against some of these teams, from the Middle East, might be even more difficult for him to be able to return in time and return with a let's say a negative result in order to play.
Are they all World Cup qualifiers? Because I know we have meaningless friendlies, which is another matter, but I guess
there's some World Cup qualifiers. I think there's I think the group stages in Europe for the World Cup qualifiers start as well.
Right.
So all World Cup qualifiers now. But big up Dark Sung G, my man. I really do appreciate the support. You're top notch.
Really, always love you, Dark Sung G. Always love you.
7 people away from 100 likes. Let's get it there. Let's smash that like. 199 watching. Brad, next question. I suppose it's a smooth transition into: is Adama Traore? Do you want him at Tottenham or do you not?
Oh, this is really split the fan base, isn't it?
You're going to have to pick your answer carefully here. You don't upset the fan base.
For £40 million, no, because I think £40 million, if we've got that money, we can spend it on another area that needs strengthening, like the creative midfielder. I was looking at, or not me personally, but I was chatting to Bob Spur earlier, and he was going through some stats comparing Bergwijn and Traore, and the two are just. Bergwijn has got so many better stats than Traore in assists and goals and that sort of thing. So I don't know. It will give us something different. On the plus side, he's a strong player and will give us something different to do. You could have a situation where you have him and then you can have Kane and Son playing as a double striker, maybe, because he takes Son's position on the left, possibly. But I think on Sunday, he had a good game, and he took, he didn't really do anything, did he? I mean, didn't really. Some of his crosses never worked, and the one player that you want that brilliant ball from Neves to go through, the one player you'd want that to go through if you're on the opposition would be Traore, and that was proved right because he missed. So I don't know. The one thing I will say is that, well, two things. Everyone said, "Oh, Nuno will bring him out, but Nuno will be able to coach him and get that player out of him." Hang on, wasn't Nuno his coach at Wolves? So, that doesn't really sort of fit with me. But what I would say is that you have to trust what Nuno wants. And if they want him, well, then, you have to go with it. But I think 40 million can be spent on better players, or not better players, but different players. The other thing is that from what I've read, we've only offered them a loan deal and they won't accept a loan deal. So that probably makes that be dead in the water anyway. So yeah,
I agree with you, Brad. I agree with you. I was going to say 2 questions. Maybe the first one, and I'll give you the second one. On Traore, do you feel like that one-on-one chance he had with Hugo Lloris, was that down to maybe Hugo Lloris, having a world-class save there, or is that maybe down to Traore's finishing?
It was a great save by Lloris, an absolutely brilliant save by Lloris. But Traore's got to score. If you put money on if someone didn't tell you who it was and said a forwards through on goal,
in that situation,
you're back forward, aren't you? So it's like a penalty. You always back the player taking the penalty. So it was a good save. Don't get me wrong. And Lloris probably the only really big save yet to make the whole game, despite all of their possession and all of the the pressure we were sort of under. But it's. And the other thing, as someone has already pointed out, we bought Ryan Hill. You know, we've got Bergwijn on. We've got all these other players that can play wide, and that's so why Mora's another player. So why would we pay more money? Yeah, okay, he's a different dynamic. Yeah, and he scares teams, but hey, you know, scary. You don't win games by scaring people. You know, you win games by goals and assists. So, you know, so it's one of those things. But you've got to trust Nuno's judgment, and you know, if they're working as a team, Nuno and Pariachi, and that, you've got to trust their judgment. So, if they believe they can fit him into a team, then great. Someone also made the point. It's not me making these points, so I'm not claiming them. That in the game in the Euros, when Spain in extra time against Italy, against an aging Italian defence, did they bring Traore on? No, they didn't. So, you know, if they didn't expect him to do the business, well, then, you know, it sort of says it all, really. But
well, I don't know, Brad. I might just slow you down really quickly. Luis Enrique, you know, I will say Luis Enrique brought a very peculiar squad, you know, to Spain. You know, he left out maybe Spain's two best left backs. He would say, you know, he brought Jordi Alba with him and Jose Gaya, and then as well, I think he left out Angelino, you know, that guy from RB Leipzig. And then he also left out Sergi Reguilon and plenty of other Spanish left backs that I think were plenty more deserving, you know, of the nomination. So I would be, you know, a bit hasty there to say that, you know, Luis Enrique totally knows, you know, what he's doing. I think he's, you know, a successful Barcelona coach, but he definitely has a heavy bias when it comes to some of the players he is picking. Maybe just quickly, you know, again on Traore, you know, maybe he's not worth 40 million, but do you feel like maybe sometimes we are kind of talking about him as if he's some like failed product of the Premier League, when in fact, I don't really think he is. I think in a way he still can, you know, fit in plenty of squads in the Premier League, but maybe I'm wrong. What do you think?
Well, he's certainly a player that if you could,
or maybe what is his evaluation? Maybe is a better question for you. What would you get him for? What would you want him for if you had to take him?
If they offered him for say 20 million, then maybe. But I guess he's what, 25? I actually thought he was older because all the clubs he's played for. But he's only 25, so he's still got a good 5 years at that sort of pace and that sort of strength. 20, 25 million. I just think 40 million is just a lot of money when we put it elsewhere. You know, it just sort of, you know, we're crying out for other positions, and we've fairly well covered in the position that Traore plays. I mean, everyone says we need a right-sided player, but he plays on the left side on the weekend. So, you know, it's yeah. I mean, who knows? We could pay 40 million for him, and he could be an absolutely brilliant buy. You know. And I'll be saying at the end of the season, well, who would have thought Traore scored the 2 winning goals in the, you know, in the FA Cup final, you know, sort of thing. And I'll be saying, yeah, great. I mean, if that happens, brilliant. But I just sort of at the moment, you know, especially when we're saying we haven't got any money, you know. So
you made very good points there about Traore. Maybe just quickly before I give you another question, Brad, I'm just going to get, you know, to some of these super chats. Mary McGee here saying a small donation. Really do appreciate it, Mary McGee. We love seeing you in the comments. It's always good. Thank you for joining us. You know, it's always at the Irish Hotspur. So Mary McGee really does mean a lot. Really do appreciate you as well, Mary McGee. You're an absolute legend. Do appreciate it. And then Dark Sun G saying, I don't want him to play for Korea, to be honest. Maybe he needs rest needed. Very, very unselfish of you, I will say, Dark Sun G. You know, if I would say, if Sonny, you know, maybe played, you know, for my country, I would say, you know, I'd probably be a bit selfish and, you know, maybe want him to come over, maybe regardless. But I do like that, you know, maybe Dark Sun G is a bit maybe club over country, you know, at the moment. And I do appreciate that, Dark Sun G. You're an absolute legend for that very, very unselfish answer. And then Ribsy85 saying, we'd have to think up of a different name for Adama's crosses because he can't cross. Call him nuts. Make yourself up, Ribsy. That's honestly, I don't know what to say to you, Ribsy. I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say. But honestly, Ribsy, I will say, maybe again, you know, with Adama, you know, he's proven in the Premier League for a reason. You know, certainly he doesn't come up with the productivity, but for 40 million, I don't think he's worth it, you know, at all. If that's the price it is for 40 million, certainly not worth it at all. Certainly not worth it. But moving on, Brad, maybe, you know, we only have so much time, so we'll give you about two more questions. And, you know, if maybe Levy, you know, he said, you know, plenty of times he has no intention, you know, to sell Harry Kane, you know, Brad, but do you feel like, you know, if he said as well, you know, he has no intention to sell to a Premier League rival, do you believe him?
No, I don't, because I remember the situation with, and I hope I'm wrong. I remember the situation with Berbatov, that we weren't going to sell him, and then the last day of the window, we were holding out for 30 million, which I guess by those sort of standards was probably the 150 million by today's money. And they came with a bid, and he was off on transfer deadline day, literally minutes before the window ended. So until we're sitting there on Wednesday morning or Wednesday midday next Wednesday week, and Kane is still a Spurs player, then I'll believe he's going to stay. But I just don't trust Levy. I think that, it's not like Man City haven't got any money. They've got loads of money. They're run by an oil billionaire, so they can just sort of, there you go, there's your money. If he's been holding out for 150 million, and suddenly Man City at 6 p.m. on transfer deadline day says, right, we'll pay it, I just think that Levy might take it. And then he'll come out next day and say, oh, well, when you offer that sort of money, and as for going for a rival, it's money, isn't it? Are we really Man City's rivals at the moment? I wouldn't say so, but yeah, again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Kane stays. Even if he wants to go, I hope he stays. I thought it was great, the reception he got on Sunday. I thought it was really, really brilliant with the fans. Apparently,
do you think that was another maybe brilliant, moment from the Spurs fans? We were maybe, the club to, give praise to Saka, despite, playing for Arsenal, we gave praise to him considering all the torment he's been under, for the treatment he underwent from the England fans. And then also now we know with the Harry Kane, maybe we were saying, are you watching Harry Kane, which is, not unfair to him. But then as well, now in this recent game, we gave him praise. Do you feel like maybe Spurs fans are kind of maybe surprising us in terms of their, I don't know,
I guess
behavior?
They shouldn't really be surprised, because I think football fans in general are great. It's
it's true. Actually,
maybe it's the minority that give a bad rap. And I was speaking to a guy at work who's a rugby fan, and football fans are the rubbish. I said, well, no, they're not. Because that sort of thing. We saw what happened with Marine Football Club, where they made £32,000 from virtual tickets. So I think that I was very pleased to hear it. I mean, I was worried. I didn't think we would hear booing. I was very pleased to hear the cheering. And I heard that they was also singing Harry Kane is worth more than Wolves or something. So,
we're more than
yeah, so I thought that was really brilliant. But, that did make me good. And I was just saying earlier on tonight, he got flack last week for not tweeting about the win. This week he did tweet about the win. So you can say, oh, that's his boys, that's his team doing that, publicity team. Maybe, just maybe, he wanted to tweet last weekend and they said no. And then this weekend he said, well, I don't care what you say, I'm tweeting. So maybe it was that. Maybe it wasn't his team. Maybe it's Harry Kane is, doing the right thing. So,
yeah. I just think he was put on a Twitter ban for the City game just to not overshadow the first game of the season. I truly believe it. I just want to say I do apologise. I got caught out. I had a bit of an Eric Dyer moment, and I did have to run off. So Jack, Fred, thank you so much for taking over. As you can see, I'm sweating a bit as well. So running there and running back. So sorry about that. Big up, Mary McGee.
Big up Mary McGee. Really appreciate you
for the support. I'm sorry I wasn't there for the comments. Again, like I said, I got caught with an Eric Dyer moment, so I do apologise. But look, Brad, just quickly, we'll get your thoughts on Thursday's game, and then we'll get on to the next guest. So what's your thoughts quickly on Thursday's game?
I think we'll get through. I think we'll be very interested in what team he puts out. I will be a bit worried if he puts out the same team, who still should win. Don't get me wrong; they still should be good enough to win. But I'd be interested if he puts first team players. I don't think he'll play Son if Son's carrying an injury. He might be saving Kane for the weekend, but maybe he might see a player like Moura or Bergwijn or those sort of players.
Yeah,
I think we should win with the crowd behind us, and they know. I mean, they probably went into the game last week thinking, "Oh well, it's just non-game sort of thing." Now they know that this could be really, really embarrassing, so they really have to lift themselves from that game. So yeah, I'm pretty confident. I'm not sure about what Ellie said about 5-0, but But yeah, no, I think we'll go through.
The confidence is flowing through, Ellie, and you love to see it. So you do. You don't love to do it. But no, look, I'm glad that everyone is confident about the game on Thursday. Look, Brad, I really appreciate you coming off again. I do apologise for having to run off there quickly. But again, another great appearance, my man, and I hope to see more of you on here.
Can I just say before I go? Can I just say that Ellie and Philip were brilliant as always before me. And if you're watching, apart from clicking the like and the subscribe button and that, stay watching because the next two guests are cracking. You're going to love it. So,
wow.
So yeah, without giving anything away, stay tuned, people. But
pick up, Brad.
Yeah, no, it's been a real pleasure again. No problems.
No, absolutely love it, Brad.
You're
Thank
legend,
you so
Brad.
much. I really
legend,
look forward to having you on every time you come on, man. So I really do appreciate it, man.
Anytime.
Big up, absolutely.
Good night, guys. You Spurs.
See you, Brad. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Brad, guys. Everyone get in the comment section, big up, Brad. Absolutely brilliant guest.
Legend.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, look, we will take this super chat from Dark Sun G. And then the two guests, we do have two guests waiting. We have Chris and then we have Marcelo. So two great guests sitting there. And then after Marcelo, then we have Yid Kid there as well. So we have a nice little lineup there for you guys, for what's coming up. So definitely don't tune out yet. But Dark Sun G says, what is it with Man City wanting Spurs players first Walker and now Kane? I don't know about the past, but I don't see City go for any other Premier League players. Yeah, look, they're trying to take the best of what we had. They pick the best out of what we have in all the squads. Look, it's what United used to do. They used to take the one or two of the best Premier League players every couple of years and bring them into their squad. City the best team in the Premier League, and now they're doing it. Look, the Kyle Walker one was, he just fitted into Guardiola's system. And now the Harry Kane one, look, they're crying out for a striker. So it is what it is. We had the best right back in the league. Now we have the best striker. So, look, if I was City, I would definitely try and get them if I had the money, to be honest with you, Dark Sun G. But I do get what you're saying. It's an absolute killer, my man. It is a killer. It's just like, fuck off. Just, go away. Like, just go away. Just go away. Like, go to your quiet little library, listen to Oasis, and watch Ricky Hatton box in the stadium or something. I'm sick to death of these guys. They don't even have advertisements on the boards anymore. They have the oil prices going around. They're getting ridiculous. I'm sick of them. Jack, you want to say that to Dark Sun G?
No, Dark Sun G, I actually completely agree with you, actually. And then as well, Dark Sun G, it seems like maybe City are kind of treating us like we were treating Southampton, at a certain point, where we were kind of just using, Southampton as our little farm factory for some of our players, we were looking, looks like you got a little crafty player over there. Might as well just take him, give you a raw deal for it, and now it seems like, Spurs are maybe kind of getting a bit wiser, a bit smarter, than the likes of Southampton were. And hopefully maybe Daniel Levy after this whole summer might start treating, Man City, like Southampton have been treating us, maybe just not pick up the calls anymore. But let me know, Dark Sun G, do you maybe think that's true? Do you maybe think, Daniel Levy starting, maybe to treat Man City like, Southampton treat us, where they kind of just, maybe block us, maybe put us in the junk email, whatever you think, Dark Sun G, but let me know. And I really do agree with you.
Yeah, big up, Dark Sun G. I really, really do appreciate the support, my man. Really, really appreciate it. Great comments as always. You're a top man. And we have William McKenzie. Big up, William McKenzie. I hope things are good with you. Good morning to you. I do believe it is morning over there. I'm trying my best to memorize these time zones so I can not know what time yous are on. And he says some signings you let them gel in for a season. Pulling out the big notes. We need players with instant success. Yeah, look, that's where I'm at this point, especially after last season. Look, I do believe we will see an improvement. But the thing is, the gap for top four is going to be different this season because you look at United, look at the money they've spent, the players they've gone in. You look at Chelsea, City, I'm sure will get in another one or two before the window closes. They're as strong as always. Look, if Liverpool have another injury sort of campaign, we definitely can't get them. I do think we could be in and around it. But look, the bar is higher this year, so I agree with you. We just need to start bringing in sure things. I know some people say there's no sure things in football. But honestly, that's just boring if they have that opinion, to be honest with you. I agree with you. If that opinion just bores me, for me, there is sure things. Jadon Sancho, he'll turn out to be a sure thing. Lukaku was a sure thing. We need to go out and get players that are going to come in and make this an instant success and get us back to where we need, back to the big time, baby. That's what I say, William. I hope you're on the train, lad. I hope you're on my train. Jack, what's your thoughts?
No, I really do agree with William here. I really do agree with William. And then as well, I would say, maybe we do deserve, the instant, success type of players. But you could also think about it this way. Maybe Nuno, if he were to just get one or two more signings in the door in the positions that we needed, even if they weren't, let's say, instant successes, maybe we could just let them, be players for the future. And once they're players for the future, if let's say they all blossomed at the same time, we could become, maybe a team, like Premier League teams of the past, maybe like Liverpool, where all of a sudden, the signings seem to blossom and, all comes together. We maybe might be one of those teams, but that's being a bit too optimistic, I would say. But I do agree with you. I do think we need the players that are a bit more instant success, but it's possible that, Dom Paratici, and I know Marcelo is going to let us know maybe on, this kind of theory I'm having, but maybe Dom Paratici is just thinking, in 1 or 2 more seasons time, these players will be the best players in the Premier League, and when we'll all be just, laughing at, ourselves for even questioning, the Don. But I know Marcelo will let me know.
I hope so. I really hope that. I really hope that's true. Look, you can kind of see it in a way. We've brought in Romero, Galini, right? Then you look at it, you got Brian Hill, and now apparently we're getting that young lad for France. So maybe it is one of them things like Liverpool, where in a couple of years it all clicks together and we can go on and do something special. But I agree, William McKenzie. We need to find that.
I'd rather have what William McKenzie is talking about for sure. I'd much rather it be that way. William McKenzie, even what you're saying isn't too ridiculous. It's not too much to ask. So you're totally right, William. Sorry, David.
Yeah, no, 100%. And look, just for me, I think we need to find that line where we do bring in the best players we can get and then start bringing in some of the youngsters, because we did bring in that young guy, or not that young guy, but that guy from Derby who was in charge of getting young players in. And bringing them into the Derby first team. He done it successfully with, Bogle, the guy that got his move to Sheffield United last season. Jason Knight, the young Irish kid who came into the Iron jersey and looks like the best player we've had in quite some time. And there's a couple of other there. But this guy was brought into Tottenham then to bring in the best talent from 17 to 21. So I wonder, is he now working his magic with that Sarr signing as well? So look, we'll wait and see. William McKenzie, great super chat, my man. Really do appreciate it. Everyone else, keep getting the support in. You want to skip the queue in the comments? Get the super chat in. It's the way to go, and it's a great way to support us. But look, this next guest, he absolutely cracks us. Shamu, I know you're in the comments and he's conceded that you're the best one. You're the best one-liner man in the business. But look, we're going to get him on. And this one, I actually have no real questions. I'm just going to let him take it where he wants to take it, because I know he has a lot to say, and it's everyone's favorite. It's Chris. How are you keeping, my man?
Come on, Chris.
Evening, lads. Right, first of all, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Smash that like, get your super chats in, or you're getting a flat cap elbow. Simple as that. That's the first rule. Secondly, Jack, right, there's one thing I've got to say to you, yeah? You know the story about Winks, yeah? He cannot use any of the rides at Levy because he'll send it sideways and backwards, so no more of that comment, please.
I saw you in the comments for that, Chris. I remember, I said, maybe Levy, he'd be good at doing the rides. I forget which ride I said he'd be good at running, but then you said, whichever ride I was describing, you said, he wouldn't even be good enough for that, Chris, because you said, he would just be making the run, making the ride go sideways and backwards.
So no more of those comments, please, Jack. Anyway,
no more. I promise, Chris. Would he be good at maybe running maybe a lazy river, something like that, Chris? Maybe just, handing the inner. He could just hand out the inner tubes.
No, not lazy river. It'll be some lazy rapids or something. Just push him in. You know what I mean?
Fish out the. Maybe just be good at just fishing out the balls from the River Thames. Just fishing out, Moon Boots' balls from the River Thames. Every training.
Well, to be honest with you, after the performance he put in on Thursday, I'll stick his head under the bloody Thames and keep it there. Idiot. Absolutely, David. It was absolutely atrocious, man.
I know.
That was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. Even a League 2 team would have done better than that.
Yeah. What do you think made that Winks performance so atrocious? For me, it was really the hospital passes. He seemed to be playing every moment. He's also dribbling himself into horrible places. What do you think maybe makes that Winks performance especially terrible?
Hospital passes. It was like funeral passes, man. Jesus Christ, I've never seen anything like it. It was bloody awful. It was absolutely atrocious. I've never seen it. It was like schoolboy football gone wrong, man. It was ridiculous. No, seriously, all jokes aside, it was just one of the worst performances I've ever seen.
Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. I completely agree. Actually, maybe again, what do you think? Was it for you, Chris? I just need a definitive answer. Think of all the awful, Harry Winks performances that, you've been victim to. And I know you've been victim to them, Chris. I know you've been victim to these performances. is that maybe up there? Is that one of maybe one of the worst ones, or are there ones that you immediately think are worse?
I think that must be one of the worst I've ever seen. It was just one of the most shocking, awful performances I can ever actually say I've witnessed in a Tottenham shirt from him. Man, he needs to put that Tottenham shirt down and go to a League 2 team, because that was just poor. It was just absolutely awful for me. For me, David, it was absolutely one of the worst performances. And
do you think?
I've played David Sanchez, but that was just going too far.
I'll be honest with you. I've put myself on a Winks diet. It's just one of them things. He's not good for me, so I have to put myself on a Winks diet. And me personally, I refuse to speak about him. So you and Jack can have this conversation on Winks, and when it moves off it, then I'll talk.
Maybe last question then on Chris. Or Chris, after this, let me just give you one more question, then you can continue to go after him, as you please. But it seemed like to me, Chris, Portuguese football is not even meant, for Harry Stinks. It seems a bit too quick for him, a bit too aggressive, maybe a bit too intelligent for him. Do you think maybe in the case of what Dark Sun G was saying earlier about maybe, trading Mr. Easy Pass, for the likes of a Lee Kang-in, would you rather maybe leave Harry Winks in Spain, or would you leave him in another league?
I would have left him in the Bulgarian league or somewhere, man. Because that's where he belongs, man. An absolutely awful player, man. And I don't want to speak about it no more because I started to feel a bit nauseous, man.
Yeah, look, you should be like me, go on a Winks diet, lad. Ever since I've started it, I've been absolutely stress-free, and I'm loving life, I have to say. So you should follow my lead. Maybe I'll give you a plan. I'll send you over the plan, lad.
What, Winkstarian, yeah?
I'm definitely one of them anyway, for sure. Just quickly, Chris, 2 super chats to get to, and then I do want to ask you a few other things. Dark Sun G21 says Levy should ignore City after Walker right back is so weak. 100%. Tanganga is great. Doherty I'm giving until this season. Bobo is bad. Who was Walker's backup again? Walker's backup was Kieran Trippier.
Wow,
again,
what a backup.
I know he went out to Atletico and probably done better than what he did at Tottenham. But for me, look, it was just coming to the point where it was the same thing every time. Ball in behind his head and he couldn't handle it. It was getting sickening.
That's true.
I'm happy we sold him, to be honest with you. But same time,
look at it now, though, David.
He's more bearable than Doherty and Bobo. Anyway, that's 100% for sure. Jack, what's your opinions on that?
David, I just love what Dark Sun G just has every single nickname just down. It's like your address. It's like your address or your phone number, David. He just seems to have every single nickname just down to the wire. Just has it down to the T. I really do appreciate that, Dark Sun G. He even reminds me, of some of the nicknames I've forgotten about of the past, or some of the new ones. Like he's reminded me now that Mr. Easy Pass is the new one, for Winksy. He really is such a help.
He is Mr. Hollywood, Dark Sun G. That's another one you need to get right down on that.
Yeah, Mr. Hollywood. That's right. Yeah, because he puts on the best faces. He puts on the best faces of, that he's working hard, Dark Sun G. I'm pretty sure you've been seeing the same thing. Oscar performances, from Doherty after he plays it out of bounds. He makes it look like, he was, trying to make it look like he was playing to a player. But in sincerity, he really didn't see anything. But Dark Sun G, really do agree with you. I really do think, Levy should just avoid any of the Man City offers, from here on out.
Dark Sun G, let me know what we can do just to avoid City from now on. If you have any ideas, any great master plan, let me know. Do let me know. Thank you so much for the support. Timman007, again, another one. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Says, if we had a 60 million bid for Martinez accepted a few weeks ago, why do we now have to sell before buying? Really think Levy is playing us again? Well, look, Timman, I know you're a big fan of Chris. So, look, we'll let Chris answer this one.
The only thing I can say to that is, yeah, he is. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. That's Levy for you, isn't it? He likes to say, oh, do you know what? We're going to sign players. And do you know what? It's all full of crap. He probably will sell Kane on the last day of the transfer window. Say, yeah, you know what? But I did have to pay for the stadium.
Yeah.
That's what I can see happening. I'm praying Kane doesn't go. I am actually keeping everything crossed that Kane doesn't go. But I can see Levy's dirty little tricks. He's done it with Modric and he's done it with Bale. Wait till the last day of the transfer when they're dead cells. And do you know what? I've got a good offer.
Don't forget Berbatov.
Yeah, Berbatov as well. Yeah, I've got a brilliant offer, so I couldn't really refuse it. Well, you've had all summer to decide whether you're going to sell him or not. Why wait till so late?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Look, Tim, man, I'll be honest with you. I really hope Levy isn't playing us. Do you know what? Part of me always wants to believe he's not that stupid.
He is.
Then the squad get into a
He
mess,
is.
and then he still went for the Super League. So maybe he is just that stupid. Maybe he's just that stupid. I don't know. Look, I think he's really. I think he's digging his own grave if he says Harry Kane this late. I think fans would have accepted it sooner. I don't think they'd accept it now.
I did put a comment in the chat earlier, David, but I'm not going to repeat what I said if he does sell Kane. I did put a comment in the chat earlier, but I'm not repeating it.
Tell us in a polite way, maybe?
No, I'd rather not.
It can't be put politely.
Okay.
Can't be put politely.
Fair enough. Well, look, Tim, man. Jack, do you want to say anything to Tim, man, before I get another question on to Chris?
To be honest, yeah, it is a bit ridiculous that, it feels like we have to sell before we buy. I don't really know what to say about it. Maybe it has a bit to do with maybe the foreign player versus homegrown player issue, but I'm not going to defend Levy at all, so I might stop myself right there. As well, though, I will say, 60 million for Martinez. It's not really maybe overpaying or underpaying, I would say, for Martinez. I think that's around the right price, for Martinez, I would say, especially if he were to partner Kane. But if that's the replacement for Kane, Martinez, if that was the potential replacement for Kane, then I would be definitely quite disappointed. I would definitely like to go for someone that can handle, the goals on his own. I do think maybe Lautaro is a bit reliant on maybe other players, and also maybe a bit unproven still, playing by himself. But again, I still really rate Lautaro, but if that was the replacement for Kane, I'd be very disappointed. And I also am disappointed with the fact that Levy feels like he has to sell before he buys.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Tim, man, big up. I hope you enjoyed the conversation that your super chat that sparked, my man. Really do appreciate it. Top man, really appreciate it. Everyone else, like Dark Sunji, like Tim, man. Like so many that's trodden the path before them. Make sure you do get your super chat in, guys, if you want to skip the queue in the comments. And it is a great way to help support the channel. Chris, look, I will get your quick thoughts on the Wolves game, because I know when we were speaking beforehand, you did have a little thing to say on it. And then after that, I do want to talk to you about transfers, what positions you think we need to strengthen. So look, start with the Wolves game. Give us a little bit.
Well, do you know what, Dave? I only saw the last 15 minutes of it because I was at work. I'm back in the office now, so I couldn't sneak off and watch the game.
I have it on the radio.
No, I was sitting on the metro on the way home, catching the last 15 minutes, and we were surrounded by a load of Geordies, so I had to keep quiet when I was watching us defend. So I just had to sit there very, very quietly, because if I would have cheered, they would have probably jumped me or something. Do you know what I mean? So, but I have to say, the one player I have slated for weeks on end is Ellie, yeah? But I'll give him his credit. I think it was the last, 5 minutes, and he was actually immense. He put in the blocks in defense.
Yeah.
Can't fault him.
Good defensively, right, Chris? He's become really good defensively, and even a box-to-box player.
And 2 weeks in a row, Jack, I can't sleep Darren Sanchez. This is unfair.
Unfair, especially maybe all three. Maybe, would you say, Chris, is it hard to, maybe that there's, no players really, left for you practically, maybe apart from Winksy, to tear into. And also David is now asking you to become a Winksitarian, so now, Chris, there are no players left for you to even slate.
Sorry, did you say a player called Winks? I don't know who he is. I've forgotten about him.
You see, Chris, you're already becoming a lot healthier. I can only see, Chris, you got the glow back in your face, Chris, because all the players.
Just gone on a total blank. It's just like, you know why? You see Men in Black, they have that laser pen thing, yeah, and they shine at you. I've forgotten who he is. You know what I mean? It's like, who is he?
It's been wiped from your memory. He's been wiped from your memory, Chris. Yeah,
he's been wiped from the memory bank.
Good.
Not compute.
Look, it'll do me and you both the world of good, because I know the two of us, our blood pressure gets high. We start, getting nauseous, getting chest pain. So it'll do the two of us the world of good, Chris.
Chest pain? I nearly flatline when I see that guy coming on the pitch in the last minute.
Oh, stop. Jack, I was the same too.
I mean, flatline. I was like, oh, shit, no. What are you doing? Get off.
Another West Ham, we thought maybe another West Ham when he was coming on. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right, Chris.
Definitely, I thought, oh no, not again. I can't handle it. I might have to. And there was an old person sitting opposite me on the metro, so I couldn't swear. I was like, oh fuck. You know what I mean? I was like, trying to be polite. I was like, oh shit, he's coming on.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. The pain in your voice is class, lad. Look, we'll get this. We'll get this super chat in from
What
Dark.
a stat right here. What a stat.
And then I want to get the positions you need to strengthen.
No, he's also got to respond to this stat. I feel like, Chris, after I read this stat aloud, I think you're going to love the stat, Chris. Dark Sun G here saying, here's a stat on Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and he's saying he has the same amount of goals as Mr. Easy Pass in one season for Spurs. And then he says, counting Southampton, he has 4 more. That says a lot about Easy Pass. Look, I mean, this is the thing. Not only is Højbjerg, I would say, better going forward, better from shooting from distance, a better defender, a better man, maybe David might even say a better lover, as well. It just seems like Højbjerg, is also even a better holding midfielder, a better tempo setter. If we were to have someone fill in as a tempo setter, I'd much rather it be Højbjerg than Harry Winks. It does seem, Chris, what do you think? Harry Winks, what is he really? What does he offer?
Who are you talking about? Harry? I can't remember who he is. I'm sorry, my mind's just gone on a blank again, Jack. It's just gone again.
Like
Sorry,
a pint of ice cream, dangled in front of us, Chris. You're doing really well, you're holding back really well. He's holding back really well.
I'll take this for Chris. I'll relapse. I'll step up here, Chris.
You'll relapse.
Yeah, I will.
David, don't do it, man. You need chest compressions. Don't do it, David.
No, look, I'll take it. Look. All I can say is Dark Sun G. That's all we needed to know. That stat there is just, it says everything.
No more.
Yeah, that's it. Look, and it's a great stat. Look, but not only that, like Stark Sung G, if we could, I bet you Højbjerg has more tackles last season than what Winks does in his Tottenham career. Dark Sung G, if you can find that out, you're an animal with stats. I will dub you the king of stats until Jack comes.
He's already taken it, David. I think he's already. David, I've already conceded it. Even as Jack the stat man, I've conceded the throne to Dark Sun G a long time ago. He's honestly able to pull them out of his hat. David, not even pull them out of his hat. It's a bit, of an under exaggeration. He's just able to pull them out of his beautiful brain, from somewhere, David. I don't know how he does it. He is the king.
Yeah, you're the king, Dark Sun G. I absolutely love that stat. Top stat, my man. I've been waiting for one for days off you, and you're finally giving me one. I absolutely love it. Big yourself up. Everyone else, keep getting the support in, guys. It's like I said, you want to keep jumping the queue in the comments here. The super chat is the way to go. Big up, Dark Sun G. You're too kind, my man. Great stat. What a stat. Honestly, king of stats. But look, Chris, I want to know what positions you think we urgently need to strengthen to get through this season.
Still need another centre back because Dyer, from what I saw yesterday, could have cost us a stupid goal with his lack of concentration again. Sanchez played well again, where he was having to help out Tanganga quite a bit, trying to hold back Traore. See, that's the one transfer I do want to talk about is Traore, actually. For me, I don't think it's worth the 40 mil. 20 million, maybe 25. Because of the pace of him, yeah, we could actually use him. But he couldn't hit a barn door even if it was right in front of him, to be fair. But we do need a centre-back, maybe another backup right back, and possibly another goal scorer as well, because we can't just rely on Son and Kane all season again.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And even if we do, I think it's the last season we'll be able to rely on them totally without having to get. Because look, let's be honest with you. We got lucky last year that we didn't really get a bad injury to Kane. We didn't really get too much of a bad injury to Son. They weren't out for lengthy periods of time, so we kind of got away with it last season. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think another striker we do need, but personally, I would like to get a right back and a centre midfielder first. Just a different option in centre midfield. What do you think there, Chris?
Centre midfielder, I think we need more there, like a Cam, a centre attacking midfielder, where we can have an Ericsson or somebody like that, just to channel the passes. Because it's all good having the holding midfielders like Højbjerg and Skip, but we need somebody in front of them too who can actually filter the passes.
Yeah, 100%. And Shamu's giving you back the crown here, Chris.
Oh, he's giving me my crown back. Yeah. He'll take it back off me again. It's like he's taken Jack's crown on the stats, man. What's happening?
We're all looking over our shoulder.
We can barely hear you, Jacko.
Oh, I'm sorry. The mic put away to the side. I said we're all looking over our shoulder, Chris. We're all looking over our shoulder.
I know. I'm getting a bit worried, Jack. I'm getting a bit worried now. I've got the one-liner Shamu chasing me, and you got Dark Sun G chasing you with the stats. What's going on?
I think Dark Sun G's well caught up. He's well caught up. You know, it's more me
It's like
catching up now to him.
It's like the 100-minute sprint, isn't it? He's chased the right up hotels.
100%.
Hopefully it's a marathon so I can catch up, Chris. Hopefully it's a marathon so I can catch up.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris,
But no,
yeah, go on.
All seriousness though, we do need somebody like a centre attack in midfielder who can actually filter and channel the passes, because we've got great attacking options, but we still need that Ericsson sort of player to create.
Yeah, 100%. I'd agree with that. I think we haven't replaced him. I'd agree with that.
But I don't know if Traore will be that sort of player. So for 40 million, I don't think it's worth that amount. Not 40 million. That's 2025 maybe. That's fair.
Well, look, Chris. Last question for you is maybe just a little bit towards Thursday. You know, do you think Nuno will put out a bit more of the first 11? You know, or do you think he'll trust maybe the backup brigade again?
Oh, not Mr. I can't. Hopefully, we don't see Mr. 33 again. Oh, Jesus, no. Not Mr. 33 and Stinksy. No, I can't. Not again. That game on Thursday was like the ultimate punishment. Do you know when you've done something really wrong? It was like that. I can't do it. So I'm hoping to see maybe Lucas and Bergwijn maybe, and maybe Dele have the first half just to make sure we're in control, and then bring on these dead weights afterwards once we've got control of the game. I don't want to see Kane playing. I don't want to see Son.
Cameron Carter-Vickers, Chris. Cameron Carter-Vickers. He's kind of on the same level as Winksy. You know, maybe just can't be seeing him at all.
Cameron Carter-Vickers is out for a while though, isn't he? He's got a really bad ankle injury, so he's going to be out for a little while.
Wow, yeah, that's right. I actually forgot about that.
He won't be. And I think maybe Rodon will be back, and so you'll have Rodon in Dyer maybe.
That'd be much nice. Yeah, that'd be much better.
But we will see Dave's mate Doherty in there. So
no, he's not my friend.
He's not your friend. Like,
no, anyone who does play well for Tottenham and they're Irish, I couldn't be friends with them. Just because they're Irish, it doesn't mean I'm going to be friends with them. Look, I'm honest. You know, Winks isn't good enough. Doherty's not good enough. Davies not good enough.
So Mr. Hollywood, no. So Mr. Hollywood possibly be in. 33 will probably be in. Golini, I'll tell you what, I felt actually sorry for him for that goal we conceded because he had no chance of stopping it. So after Stinks' well, I can't even call it a performance, to be fair.
Yeah.
I can't even call it a performance.
No,
show.
I wouldn't either. It was a shit show. That's exactly what it was.
But I hope to see at least a couple of the first team players just to steady the ship a little bit, just to make sure we go through.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. Well, look, Chris, thank you so much for your time, man. You really gave me a good laugh.
Cheers, Chris.
Yeah, no problem, lads. You have a good one. Right, smash a like, get your super chats in, and support the Flat Cap Army, or you're getting a Flat Cap elbow.
Big up, Chris.
Big up, lads. Have a good night, yeah?
We'll send them after you, Chris. We'll send them after you. You're our Romero. Yeah. You're our Romero, Chris.
Yeah, definitely, Jack. Take it easy, lads.
See you, Chris. And guys, if anyone has a Harry Winks jersey, signed Harry Winks jersey, just send it to Chris as a Christmas present. He'd absolutely love it. So he'll
know what to do with it. He'll know what to do with it, David.
He'd absolutely love it. He would. He really would love it. Well, look, let's waste no time. Let's get on the next man. I don't know whether he wants questions. I don't know whether he just wants to let go and rant. So we'll bring him on and we'll ask him. Let's see what he wants. Marcelo, how are you, my man?
I'm doing good. A little bit sad that the Hammers won. I'm not even gonna lie, they actually look pretty good, and I never fell for the whole I think the Europa League is gonna tire them out. I think they're gonna concede the Europa League and focus on the Premier League anyways.
Focus on the Prem again.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna be a big problem.
What saying, it seems like that, Marcelo.
Yeah, and listen, I hate to say it, but they're actually pretty quality, man. I think Leicester looked really bad. I think Leicester is slowly getting found out by each day, and I think that magic is going away. I think we can definitely take their spot, but I think West Ham is going to be a big problem after watching them today. But I'm feeling good. Other than that, I'm feeling fantastic.
No, good. Well, look, what do you want to talk about? There's no point of asking you questions because you have so much you want to talk about. So just work away. Let's go.
Listen, man. With this whole Adama Traore thing, I mean, what the hell are we doing? I want to buy into it. I really do. I really like. Well, just you know, you might to do. You just might as well rename Tottenham Hotspur into Pace FC, inshallah, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's all we're gonna be. It's gonna be just pace, bro. You know what I mean? You're gonna see Lucas Moura running around. You're gonna see fucking Traore running around with the headless chicken. You're gonna see fucking, you know, you're gonna see Bergwijn running around with the headless chicken. Like, what are we? We need goal scorers, man. If we're being forwards, we need goal scorers. None of this. Oh, he's got a lot of pace, inshallah. If we listen, I would honestly rather get Lingard over Traore.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm I'm shitting on you. But like, I feel like if we go up to like Manchester United and we offered a decent bid, I think we could for 40 mil. I would rather get Lingard than Traore for 40 mil. There is no way we play 40 million for this guy. No, if we pay 40 million for this guy, I'm gonna lose it. You know, like I'm really like I see Paratici's project. You know, he's bringing a lot of young players. And we got a lot of players that are already in their prime that soon will be in their prime still in 3 years' time. So in 3 years, I think a lot of the players like the Kills, like the SARS that's going to come in, like, you know, like the Skips and, you know, Tagangas, those guys are going to come into their prime. And, you know, guys like Højbjerg, Sonny, you know, who else can we think of? Romero, they're just going to be, you know, experienced, hard, you know, veterans. So it's going to be like I can.
Do you think they'll even actually more become like the trophies of the Premier League? Maybe like kind of those players that everybody will like say, you know, like that's the center back, you know, the Premier League, you know, that's the right winger of the Premier League. Like no one ever thought about getting that, you know, player. Do you think that's what they'll be? Yeah,
and Paratici has made many of these signings. Paratici has a very good eye for talent. So I don't have a problem with that. But like with me, this definitely seems like a Nuno signing. You know, Traore, and he's got to realize this is fucking Tottenham Hotspur. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like Wolves, you know? Like, Traore is good for Wolves. He's 40 million for Wolves, but he's like 50 million for Tottenham.
Right.
Let's be real here. You know, he's not of that same cloth, man. You know, like, and David and I, we're both agreeing, you know, we need a number 8, in my opinion. We need, you know, back in Pochettino, like, we need structure in our team. We have no structure. You know, back in the Pochettino, the reason why we're a great team is because we had structure. You know, we had good pacey wingers. We had, you know, the best striker in the world. We had, you know, a destroyer in Wijnaldum. And then we had a great number 8 and Ndombele, you know, could hold the ball, control the tempo, get the ball back, bring the ball back to the team, pass it around, do the things that, you know, a lot of people didn't notice until Ndombele really left. You know, we didn't really feel the impact of Ndombele until he really left. A lot of people. So we need a number 8, bro. You know, like for me, like a Florian Nehus, someone like that would be perfect. I mean, why are we spending 40 million in Traore if we just go to Godblatch and just, you know, just splash out 50 million or maybe even 60 on Nehus? We got a top quality number 8. You know, kid that has Champions League experience, 24 years old. Ready to go, you know, like, and Winks. Sorry, like, there is no way going about it.
I will say, Neuhaus would certainly satisfy, you know, the Winks fans. He looks a lot like Winks. You know,
he doesn't play like Winks. Yeah,
he doesn't play, but he looks like Winks. And I think that's part of the reason why they like Winks so much. You know, he's got the, you know, the nice hairstyle. You know, Marcelo. You know, he's a bit, you know, the smaller frame. You know, he's kind of a bit innocent. You know, I think that's what, you know, Neuhaus. You know, maybe he might just be that, you know, Winks replacement in that regard. But maybe you're right. Just shouldn't even be compared.
No. Listen, Florian Nehus has more assists in one season than Winks' whole entire Tottenham career. In fact, his whole entire, you know, professional career. I mean, the kid last season, I think he had 8 goals and 10 assists as a number 8, by the way. That's incredible. You know what I mean? That kid, I don't know how no big clubs haven't picked up on him. I think, honestly, with Bayern offering money for Ndombele, just take whatever you can and get Florian Nehus. Get the kid in. And you know what? Bundesliga has been very good to Spurs. You know, almost like all the players we've gone from Bundesliga has been top quality. It's one of the best leagues at producing talent. And, you know, the Germans, they play some amazing, you know, technical football. They're known for their technique and, you know, poise. You look at the Crews, you look at, you know, the Mollers. They're very good technical footballers. So, in my opinion, that kid would be a dream signing, but we're nowhere going to go near him because You know, we're Tottenham Hotspur, and for some reason, all we like looking into is wingers. Why is it every transfer window we keep looking for wingers? We need a right back, right? We obviously need another center back to partner with Romero, and we already bought. How many wingers have we already bought this season? Haven't we bought like already 2 wingers, bro?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like what is this winger FC, bro? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, why are we looking at another winger? You know, has Levy ever heard of another position in football? You know what I mean? Like, honestly, man, it's a joke. We need a number 8. I think by the end of this, if we can get a center back, a right back, and a number 8. I know we need a backup striker, but I think we can get 3 of those. We're a top team again. Top team. I mean, honestly, mean this. If we can get a 3 of those of quality, honestly, we can challenge for top 4. We can definitely pass Liverpool for top 4, in my opinion. In my opinion. But you know it's not going to happen. You know we're going to sign Traore. We're going to sign another winger. We're going to have 8 wingers. We're going to play one of them in the midfield because we're like, fuck, we have no midfielders after they get injured. And it's just going to be another, like, remember when we were playing Romero as an attacking midfielder? You know, like, I mean, not Romero, Lamella. Remember when we were playing him as an attacking midfielder? Like we had so many wingers that we start playing them in the midfield. It's a joke, man.
Yeah.
No.
I agree. Just quickly, I'll get these 2 super chats here, Marcelo. And whatever else you want to speak about, we'll let you get off your chest too. I know this is great therapy for you, my man. Dark Song G21 says, I found out that Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has doubled the assists as well. How can Mr. Easy Pass be this bad? He was here longer and is useless. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, first season, 2 goals, 4 assists. Easy Pass, 2 goals, 2 assists. Marcelo, maybe you want to say something to Dark Sun G?
Listen, I wake up every morning. And I look at my mother and I said, what did I do to deserve to watch Eric Dyer and Harry Winks? Like, just what did I do? I just looked at her.
It's your fault.
I said, just please explain. And, then I'll go to a church and I'll pray, for one day for them to get out. Like when I heard the news, David, that Everton were thinking about Harry Winks, honestly, I got so excited.
Maybe you thought you did something good that year,
Oh, man. Like, seriously, what a waste of space. Like, Nuno cannot play this guy. I swear to God, I would rather play the under 8s than this guy. Like, legitimately, he is useless. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even watch that Pacos game, but, like, I can already tell you how it probably went. He probably got bullied off the ball. His passes were slow. It was always sideways, no forward, no progression, stale, boring, just like La Liga, and that's where you should go. La Liga, that's your league. That's your level now. Play with Elche, play with fucking what is it, Levante, play with all those smaller lower league La Liga clubs. That is your level. That's where you belong. You don't belong in the Premier League. You never will be a Premier League player. I get it. You're happy at Spurs. I would be happy making 100K a week without doing fuck all too. But fuck off. That's all I ask for Harry Winks. If you're truly a Spurs fan, you hand in your resignation this day, right now. You are not worthy of being a Spurs player. This guy is honestly atrocious. He is the worst midfielder I've ever seen at Spurs, and I've seen some shocking midfielders at Spurs. Fuck it, I've seen Paulinho. I would get Paulinho back from the Chinese league, bro. You know what I mean? Over Winks. He's honestly.
I would much rather have Paulinho back.
What a joke. That guy couldn't, like, honestly, Winks. Oh no, he wouldn't know what to do with the football.
You need to become a Winksitarian, Marcelo. You need to become a Winksitarian like me and Chris.
No, I just get pissed off every time. Him and Mr. 33. Mr. 33. What a Mr. Anonymous, man. What a joke. He is such a like. How can you get spun so much? Honestly, at this point, Davey should just retire. It's not good for his brain to be spun that much. He's going to get a concussion. It's not even healthy at this point. It's not even a joke anymore. I'm honestly starting to get worried about the lad's health.
He has permanent vertigo. He has vertigo.
He plays like it. He plays like he has vertigo. It's ridiculous.
Honestly, I'm sick of these players. They have to go. Just quickly, Jack, if you want, you'd like to say to Dark Sun G, my man.
No, honestly, Dark Sun G, really do appreciate, given the stats as well. And Højbjerg, maybe what I might say is that, in the case of Easy Pass, Dark Sun G, it does seem like easy pass. They try to pretend like easy passes like Jorginho or something in the way that he plays. They think that he's some sort of, they think he's the tempo setter, David. They think that Harry Winks is, the tempo setter that we need to, find a place for in the squad. And if you ask me, look at just Jorginho, look at plenty of other players that, are the tempo setters in their sides. Even those fans, kind of rip into those kind of players. And, I would say Jorginho is much more of a player than Harry Winks is. And still a Chelsea player or Chelsea fans still rip into Jorginho, every week, for not, being able to defend, not being able to, maybe being too privy to, maybe being too catered to. So I will say, even the way that Harry Winks plays, you just have to cater to him just so much. And it's just so worthless considering that he's not even good at the position that we're talking about, that you need to cater for him for. Honestly, Højbjerg do a much better job at being, the Harry Winks of our team, doing the Harry Winks roles. But I guess Harry Winks doesn't even have a role anymore. So what am I even saying?
And I'll be honest with you, Dark Sun G, I wouldn't even let him set the tempo in the conga, let alone, tempo on the pitch, my man. I really wouldn't.
Philip wouldn't even let him set the tempo in a band. I don't even think he can be allowed to set the tempo anywhere, David.
Yo, but like for real though, did you see the under 23s versus Leeds under 23s?
You see, man,
that Marcandi, that kid is talented. Him and Niles John. Just get Niles John. Honestly, just scrap Winks. Put him with the under 23s. Let him play there and put Niles John. Just show him a lesson. Like this guy, honestly, the under 23s are better than this guy. Like they would probably outplay him. I guarantee you, if Winks played with the under 18s, let alone under 23s, that kid would struggle. He is useless footballer. Please get out of my team.
Love it. And Ribsy85 here says, if you want Adama, come to Australia. We've got a country full of meat lump rugby players you can buy for peanuts. Absolutely love it. Yeah, rugby league. Look, they're big. They're built like Adama Traore, 100%.
Ribsy really doesn't like Adama. You can tell, David. He really doesn't seem to like.
Yeah, Ribsy, let us know what your problem is. Let us know what your problem is with Adama, my man. Let us know what your problem is with Adama.
He's just a pace merchant. He's just a pace and shala merchant. Like
I have to be neutral today, Marcelo. I'm on the fan show. I have to be neutral.
Oh man, well, it's just another Steven Bergwijn. You know what I mean? If not even worse. Like what's like. I honestly, do you just want me to have a heart attack at this point? I when these guys score goals, man,
how many pace merchants can we get? How many pace merchants can we get?
We already have Lucas, we already have Bergwijn. Just call it Pace FC, bro. It's just long balls and pace and pray to God that one of the balls goes in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. And listen, we don't even know if we're gonna have Kane. Honestly, I hope he stays. I really do. But with Daniel Levy, bro, that guy, he would stab his own grandmother for, 150 mil. You know what I mean? So there's definitely he definitely would sell Kane at the end of the window. But it doesn't look like City is gonna, doesn't look like City's gonna pay for it. Did you see their opening bid? I mean, not their opening bid, their only official bid. It was 75 million plus 25 add-ons. If that's not taking the piss, I don't know what else. That is honestly what the 75 million for the best striker in the world. Are you having a laugh?
They are taking the piss 100%. They are. Honestly, they think we're stupid.
And then people, and then you see first off, I have another rant to go to. Fucking,
just quickly before you do, Ribsy, thank you so much for the support, my man. Dark Sun G as well. Guys, everyone, if you want to skip the comments and you're not patient enough to wait for us to get to your comment, just get in a super chat, guys. It really does mean you jump the queue, and the support is fantastic. So, guys, keep getting them super chats in. But Marcelo, look, we'll let you off again.
Sky Sports, first off, absolute disgrace. Did you see their play-by-play for the Wolves game when Harry Kane came on? It said yellow card Harry Kane after he stalled for the throw-in. And then right underneath that, he said Pep would love that. Right, this is a match play-by-play for a game. This is the professionalism we deal with. These guys are trying to make Spurs out into the villains. But we haven't even gotten close to the offer that that Kane is really worth, 100, which is 150 million. City hasn't even been close to it. And these frauds, these media's outlets trying to paint Spurs and Spurs fans as villains for wanting to keep Harry Kane. You're absolutely a disgrace. Neville, you're an absolute disgrace. You little fucking shithead. Get out of, stop talking about Spurs. Honestly, stick to United. Stick to talking about Pogba. Stop talking about my football club. Please, we got to get some Spurs representatives.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Get Glenn Hoddle, in there. They take a piss on us every fucking time. And they bring in that stupid long neck, Jamie Redknapp, who all he does is talk shit about Spurs. Honestly, I'm so sick and tired of this fucking media. It's driving me insane. Just forget about them. What other club do they do this with Spurs? Please explain. What other club that in the play-by-plays they would say something like that? It's completely disrespectful.
Yeah, I know.
It's a joke.
Do you know what it is? Because Daniel Levy probably charges them more than any other club for Premier League for match day coverage. That's probably why, lad. You know what I mean? So they're taking it out on him. They're like, right, we'll get you another way. We'll engineer moves for your players. It wouldn't surprise me. But look, Marcelo, we do have two more people to get on, and it is it's getting late here, guys. It's getting near to midnight. But Marcelo, before you go, I do want to get your thoughts on Thursday's game. I don't know whether you'll be able to watch it or not, but we'll work on that. But I do want to get your thoughts. Do you think maybe Nuno should go with a strong 11, show some of these backup brigade what they should be doing, and then haul three of them off at half time and get the job done early? Or do you think he should just trust in the likes of Winks and Davies and Doherty and shit again?
Honestly, can I be real with you? I don't really care about the Conference League. When we lost,
win a trophy.
No, honestly, my keychain is worth more than that tournament. Let's be really here,
more than the Carabao Cup. You feel like the Carabao Cup is worth more than the
100%. I would rather win the Carabao Cup than the Conference League. I'd rather win the. For me, I'd rather us focus on the Premier League and the FA Cup. Honestly, just focus on the Premier League and FA Cup. It's a waste of competition. You win nothing from winning it. Let's be really here. You win nothing from winning it. And as far as I'm concerned, we need to improve our position on the table, because if we focus all our marbles on the Conference League and finish 8th and finish 9th, we couldn't. That's how Arsenal ended. You know what I mean? I know it hurt seeing them win the FA Cup, but that how much that paper over the cracks. League position is just as important as winning cups. Let's be really here. Nobody wants to go to Arsenal anymore. And Arteta won an FA Cup. Look what that did for him. Nobody wants to play for him because he's shit.
Yeah.
And they're in a shit position. So, and you look at Jules Koundé and Pau Torres. If we want to compete for the Premier League, we need to be up there with the top 4, top 5 at least.
Yeah.
Because players don't want to play for top 8 teams. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a fuck about the Conference League. Just play the youngsters. Maybe put Kane in there because, give him game time. But I could give less of a shit about the Conference League. I don't care. It's got no history.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Look, do you know what? We'll have this debate on a friend of me's. I right now, because it's getting on and that, I am going to politely disagree with you, but we are going to have this conversation in a friend of me's.
Loving it.
Me personally, I just think we're starving with trophies, and that's all I'm going to leave it at. I'd take any. No, I'll be honest, it's just desperation for me. I take that, and I really would.
I don't know. I think for the better of the team, we need to be close to top 4. I mean, look at Leicester.
Yeah.
They can attract players that we can. And Leicester were a shit team before. We need to be up there competing for top 4 at least, because if we were in top 4, we would have gotten Koundé and Pau Torres. Think about that. That would have changed our backline completely. Completely. So. Listen, if you want to have a quality team, winning the Conference League is not going to get you that. Maybe if we win the FA Cup, get top 6, then you have a case there. But nah, I'm sorry. No, fuck the Conference League. I don't give a shit.
No, that's fair enough. Well, look, Marcelo, my man, I really do appreciate you coming on. If anyone wants a debate on Twitter, where can they find you?
You can find me at my tag at Tagangsta25. It's the best name on Twitter.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not even gonna lie.
It was there before it was cool as well, Marcelo. It was there before it was cool.
Honestly, these people, I see people on Twitter with the name Gangsta now or Gango and all that stuff, bro. Y'all men need to be charging me, bro. You need to be charging me because I was the OG.
Royalty
I was the OG, bro. Come on now.
I love it.
Absolutely love it. Well, guys, if anyone wants a debate during the week and you're bored, just check out Marcelo's Twitter. You know, he does put out some great comments there, and just let him know whether you disagree or not, lads. It's absolutely great crack.
Big up Marcelo.
Big up Marcelo. Really appreciate your time, my man.
David, Jack, always my love. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. What an absolute legend. Big up Marcelo. He cracks me up every time. Do you know what? Anytime he comes on, it's just hard not to smile. You know, if you disagree with him on some things, it's still hard not to smile at him.
We've been spoiled tonight, David. We've been spoiled with, the Harris Army, fans. The fans that we've had on tonight have been absolutely top class. We've been absolutely spoiled by you guys, I will say. And then Dark Sun G here, though, someone that we're also constantly, really, absolutely spoiled by with the stats, with the insight, with the comments. Dark Sun G, he honestly makes our shows a ton better, with his insight, David, with his, with his stats. He makes it, makes our job sometimes a whole lot easier, even though Dark Sun G, we try to come in with our own stats, to lighten the load for you. I will say, Dark Sun G, you still somehow are able to wow us each time. But he says easy pass fouls 69 times. Maybe Dark Sun G, I'd like to know maybe what, maybe compare Højbjerg's stats, to easy pass, an all-time easy pass stats for Spurs versus Højbjerg. But easy pass, maybe last season fouled 69 times. No, this might actually be all time because there's no way he had 69 fouls maybe last season.
I asked him for all time. I asked him for all throughout his career. So I'd say
this could be all time. This could be all time. So easy pass fouls 69, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg 215, easy pass tackles 104, PEH 342, easy pass clearances 74, PEH 226, recoveries easy pass 448, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg 1,229 ball recoveries, and then duels 1, easy pass 264, and then PEH 852. That's just sad, David.
Insane.
That's just sad. That's
Dark Sun G. That is absolutely insane. Insane stat. My man. So basically, look, all that tells us is that Pierre-Emile Højbjerg outdoes him, and he's only been here for it's ridiculous.
Any Winks fans, please just come out of the framework. Come out of the framework.
When you need him, he's always in there spamming. He's playing too much FIFA and everything else. Where is he?
This is your moment, Alex. It seems like this is your moment. Come on the fan show. Let Dark Sun G know, what you would have to say about these stats. But honestly, Dark Sun G, I wouldn't even let you go at Alex Dark Sun G because I know you just tear him apart limb by limb, with some of the stats that you have, prepared. So Dark Sun G might be a bit unfair.
And also, look, Dark Sun G, if you ever do want to come on and have your say on one of these fan shows, just let me know. I'll get you on, not a problem. Do let me know. I would like your face to be the next one we unearth. I really would. So let me know if it's something that'd interest you. I really would like to get you on. Everybody, there's still 192 watching. We have 2 guests left. We have Dan and then we have Shamu. So guys, look, make sure you do smash that like button. The subscribe button as well. If there's 3 people that are watching that haven't subscribed to the Irish Hotspur, let's subscribe to it because then we can reach 4,050 subscribers. That'd be very nice. I hate odd numbers. We're at 4,047. I hate odd numbers, guys. So let's get it to 450. Also, make sure you do smash a like on the stream as well, guys. It's very, very important. Let's see what we're at here as well. What are we at? So we're at 139 likes. Let's get it to over 150, guys. Let's be generous. But drop that elbow on it. Smash that like button, guys. And as well, like Dark Sun G here, like everyone else that's been doing it all night as well, guys. Ribsy, Tin Man. We had David as well. We've had loads throughout the evening. Tom as well, Tom Doyle from Wicklow. Guys, make sure you do drop the super chats in as well. It's a great way to support the channel. But also, if you want to skip the long queue that we get here sometimes, but the chat's getting them up on screen, it is a great, great way to do so. And we have Jelly and Ice Cream, and he says, they say, love the channel, lads. Well, I love jelly and ice cream, so maybe it's mutual. So big yourself up. I really do appreciate it. And if you're new, smash the subscribe. Smash
big
it.
Up, Jelly. Big up,
Look, let's waste no time. I'll be honest with you, because let's get Dan on, then let's get Shamu, and then after that, I'm gonna teach Jack a lesson or 2 in FIFA. So let's get them on. Dan, my man, how are things looking? Dapper with the cap.
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. I've just realized that you've hit 4,000 subscribers. Big up to you, David. Big up to you. I was actually I was your 20th subscriber.
Wow.
So yeah, I've seen you go through all the journey, and just gotta say, big congratulations. Big congratulations.
No, I really appreciate it. And look, you're moving too, my man. You're moving too. Your channel is great, and you keep it up too. You keep it up too. But look, I suppose we'll do it the other way around this time. Since we're talking about channels, and you were so nice to me and congratulating me, why don't you plug your channel at the start instead of at the end this time?
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys can find me at THFC. I've started this one. It's gonna be more content as the season goes. I've got a lot of new shows planned. I've got David on my channel before. I've got Jack on my channel before. So, yeah, if you like what I say and you're interested, you want to find me. I'm THFC on YouTube.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely love it, guys. Do get over there and check it out. Like you said, me and Jack have been on there before, and he's absolutely brilliant. It's a great show he puts together. So do check it out. But look, Dan, thoughts quickly. Get your thoughts on yesterday's game.
Can you repeat that?
Can we just get your thoughts on yesterday's game?
Oh, yesterday's game, yeah. So, I don't know if you know this, but it was my first ever game at a pub.
Nice.
I went to a pub.
Oh yeah, with other fellow Spurs fans.
Yeah, it was an Irish pub as well. So, there was a bunch of Irish. Yeah, there was a bunch of Irish flags up, Tottenham flags. It was a great time. I just saw pretty much 90 minutes of not what I expected, because I expected us to dominate possession, but we ended up losing possession. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you look at the possession stats, Wolverhampton had more possession than us. So it just shows Adama Traore had a fantastic game. Next day we get linked to him, so it's not really that big of a surprise. Yeah, big up Pete from the lane as well. And another thing is that I saw Bergwijn really play well. Really, really well. And I thought, for me, right after the game, I thought man of the match. Then I started watching a little bit more clips and stuff, and I realized that Ellie had a good game, a fantastic game. Hugo had a fantastic game as well. He saved us massively with a lot of opportunities. Kane came on. Obviously, that's the biggest talk. You've got Sky Sports in the other end. They don't do journalism. They do favoritism. So I don't really go into that. They're at the levels for me as ESPN and all those other broadcasts. There was an article one day I saw Aubameyang when he was being linked to Barcelona. David, okay, listen. This might be too much for you, and you're gonna probably be dying of laughter to hear this article. Listen to the name of the article. Can Aubameyang replace Messi's goals at Barcelona?
Honestly,
I will send you the article. That's the name of the article. That's the name of the article.
That's just clickbait journalism. I bet you it's an article that offers no substance whatsoever.
It was just, I saw that and I was like, am I reading that correctly?
Yeah.
Aubameyang, he can't even replace his goals.
Yeah. No.
How is he going to go over and replace the goals of the best player and one of the best players in the world?
Yeah. No, I agree. It's absolutely ridiculous. Well, look, enough of that. Enough of the Barcelona talk, though. Enough of the Barcelona talk. Jack, have you any questions for Daniel here?
Yeah, I'm curious why, Daniel, like, what is it maybe about Bergwijn that, maybe makes the man a match for him? Because for you, I mean, what is it that he does, maybe in particular that you maybe enjoy so much? I feel like David and I were giving him plenty of praise, but, Dave and I have continued to say, it's that final ball, it's that final finish that he seems to lack. Even, he had that moment to set up Ellie, felt like he had a year, in order to play it across goal, and he just couldn't do it. But as well, I do see where you're coming from. He does a lot of things well. I'm just wondering maybe what in particular do you maybe enjoy so much about Bergwijn?
Well, I just love the crisp of his terms. I mean, in the pub, every time he would go past the player, we'd all go, "Oh my God,
yeah,
he's going past another one." But honestly, as well, he had a good game in all aspects. There was one where he had great play with Sonny, where they both smashed it into it would have been a goal, but forgot the name of the keeper, but he saved it because it wasn't even Rui Patricio. That's another thing.
Oh, the man Sa, the goalkeeper Sa.
Yeah, Sa. But yeah, it was a good performance from Stevie B. I didn't think man of the match afterwards because I started watching more. Dele Alli looked fantastic. Hugo Lloris for me right now would be my man of the match if I were to pick it again. But at the time, it was just Steven Bergwijn. You know, all the times that you've been criticized and all that, to see him have a match like that, the confidence in him. There was one where he just took it down the line, 5 men on him, no problem. And then he played with confidence as well. You named the play there with the one that he could have played to Dele. Other than that, and maybe a few shots that he could have taken, but he took it wild the ball, a little unnecessary touches. Those he could have fixed, but it was a good performance from Bergwijn in all.
Yeah. Yeah, look. Again, I'll be honest with you. I'll politely disagree because at the end of the day, for me, look, it's the end product. Look, honestly, I could go on and do that trick he done yesterday. Doesn't make a good performance. At the end of the day, he can do that trick, but then he can't square a ball 5 yards to Dele Alli. What's that about? That's my problem. You're a winger yourself, Daniel. Does the lack of end product not worry you?
Well, I just think it's not even his finishing ability. I don't think it's his finishing ability. I think it's his confidence. We saw it in the preseason friendlies.
For a year and a half, though. For over a year.
I've been seeing it ever since the Liverpool game. He didn't have that problem before the Liverpool game. After that Liverpool game, I've seen him have worse shooting moves than Phil Jones.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's been like even in the preseason friendlies. You know, preseason is a match where you have nothing to lose. It's literally a match to try out new formations, try out new things, and he ends up through on goal, straight chance to score, and he ends up scoring it to Sonny. That I saw that as a problem of confidence. He didn't have confidence in his own ability.
Season. He did get a goal after that. Did he not score against Chelsea?
Yeah, that was 2 matches after.
Yeah.
I think it's one if he gets played through on a goal 1-on-1 with the keeper, he's not gonna have that confidence. But if he magically dribbles past 2 players, then he's gonna be like, oh, I just did that. Now I have the chance. If I score this, it'll be even fantastic. That will fill him a little bit more confidence before the goal. I just think that Liverpool match, ever since that Liverpool match, I've seen completely different Bergwijn. I remember that Bergwijn were volleyed into the bottom corner against Manchester City. Where was his finishing ability there? There wasn't a problem with his finishing ability there.
This is the problem. People say it's confidence. I actually disagree with that. For me, I just think he just doesn't have it. And let me tell you why. Because he scored a banger at the end against Aston Villa last season. No one brings that up when they want to mention his confidence. They leave out the goals that he has scored after that. For me, I just think it's consistency is his problem. I genuinely do believe that because when he scored against Aston Villa at the back end of last season, all the Bergwijn fans were out saying, oh, yeah, he's back. See, this is what Bergwijn can do. He's gone quiet again. You know what they're going to do? Wait for him to score in 5 games' time and then come out and do the same thing. I just think consistency is the problem. Just quickly, official Soil 19 says Watford versus Spurs 3-0. Son, Hill, Kane. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely love the goal scorers, man. I love them names. Really appreciate the support, and I hope we get the 3-0. I gave my prediction on Ollie Agenbar's channel earlier on for the Watford game, and I went for 3-0 as well, so I like your thinking, my man. I really do like it. Everyone else, feel free to keep getting in the super chats and helping supporting the channel out, guys. Daniel, maybe another question we'll get to you is what positions do you think we need to strengthen?
What positions? Well, I think if the rumors are true and we're getting Adama Traore, it wouldn't make sense to get another right winger. So I think that will be the right wing done. I'd say maybe a center back and a right back. I'm not sure what happened to Tomiyasu. I haven't heard anything about him now.
Tomiyasu,
Tomiyasu went silent. The news on Tomiyasu went AWOL. It went Harry Kane. But I mean a center back as well. Do you see us? I know. I think we need a center back. But do you see us getting another center back?
I'll be honest with you. Jack, actually, do you want to take this one?
Do I see us getting another center back? At the moment, we actually have 4 center backs. I see us getting another center back / right back is what I would say. I don't think we're getting a center back and a right back. Could be a Tomiyasu type. Could be something else. To be honest, Tanganga fits that mold as well as someone who can play the right back and center back position. So I do think maybe I would put my bet on if I were to put any bets. I put it on it being a right back or a center back. Of course, that's, two different positions, but I expect, that player to be able to maybe play both.
Well, I've heard a lot of people saying Tanganga, great right back. We don't need a right back anymore. We've got Jeff Tanganga. You also have to remember he's injury prone. Yeah. It's very, very likely he'll get an injury somewhere through the season.
So the right back seems a bit more important than maybe you might say.
Yeah, but if we do end up getting Tomiyasu, who'll fill up both positions. So
yeah, you're right.
It would be Daniel Levy will see it. Oh, now we don't need to get a center back anymore. But it's a weird one. It is a weird one.
Yeah, it is. It is. And look, Daniel, last question we'll give you, my man, is look, what's your thoughts on Thursday's game? What do you want to see?
Thursday game, I don't want to see Harry Winks. I'll tell you that much. I think Cameron Carter-Vickers has been ruled out with an injury, so we won't see him. I want to see something that I really want to see is Romero with a good center back partnership. Because imagine being hyped up with all the fans. He's going to be the next big center back, best signing, a better signing than Rafael Varane, and then you get partnered up in your first game with the Tottenham Hotspur jersey with Cameron Carter-Vickers.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. So look, Max Aarons is one there. When you talk about the right back position, but do you see him? Do you see us buying him? I don't know. I see him going to more of a club like Liverpool or something like that, or maybe even Manchester United. But look, on the game on Thursday, I want to see a good team, but not our strongest starting 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the difference, maybe quickly, Daniel, because how different then will that be from maybe the lineup than we put out on last Thursday? If because it felt like maybe last Thursday's lineup was a bit maybe what you mentioned, which is, not the starting 11, but, still a strong team. So how many players would you then say maybe from our starting 11 would you put, or maybe what players in particular would you put from our starting 11 in the game for Pashos?
Playoff. The Kane, Lucas Moore, if something happened, then we had those.
Your internet's gone a bit funny there, my man.
Is it back?
You're completely frozen and we can barely hear you. Oh.
Am I?
No, it's still freezing and that, Daniel.
Seems to be a bit better now. Yeah, it seems to be a bit better now.
Does it work?
Yeah, you're back. We can hear you properly anyway.
Okay. So, what the question? Wait. Okay. Now I remember the question. So you have to remember in the early playoff matches, we had the likes of Son, Kane, Lucas Moore on the bench. If something went wrong in that match, again in the first leg, we had who did we have on the bench? Who did we have on the bench?
We didn't have a lot of saviors on the bench. Maybe
nobody.
Right.
Absolutely nobody. And another thing is that you can't just put a good player next to a player that you don't even recognize. Giovanni Lo Celso, a lot of people are calling him out. He was playing next to Harry Winks, and you expect him to be the one that you saw in the Copa America playing with the likes of Lionel Messi, Di Maria. You just can't expect that, right?
But do you not think he should be head and shoulders above, though, Daniel? Like, just because he's playing with bad players, does that mean he should play bad too? Should he not be setting the example? And second of all, look, I'll be honest with you, I don't buy the excuse that it's been a disgruntled squad. They've never played with these players before. They train week, day in, day out with each other. But not only that, I've watched Spurs teams in the UEFA Cup over the years growing up. I've watched Harry Kane play with some absolute dross, even when he wasn't a fully fledged Spurs player in the Europa League, and we were still thumping teams like that. No excuses for it. I'm sorry, but there is no excuses for that. Not when I've grown up watching worse underage players and backup players and stuff like that slap teams in Europa League. At the end of the day, I get it. A lot of people are saying we should have experience on the bench last Thursday night. But that team, we have a second leg, but that team, we should have bet them regardless. I've watched Spurs with worse squads out slap teams like this.
Yeah, it really is. It was an embarrassing match. They were taking the mick out of us on Twitter. I don't know if you saw the videos. It was just humiliating. But look, you were making a pretty good point there. But you also have to remember, David, the mentality has changed from that time where you've had those more mature players.
It's not to do with mentality, though, Daniel. I'll agree with you. I really don't think it is, because At the end of the day, you either want to make it work or you don't. At the end of the day, just because someone else is bad, it shouldn't bring your mentality down. If you're a winner and you want to play well and you want to prove you should be in the 11, just because you're playing alongside Winks or something like that, you shouldn't be that, sure, I just do what they do because they get away with it. At the end of the day, mentality comes down to the individual player. You either want to be the best and you either want to play or you don't. That's on the player.
Yeah, I think you're making a really good point, but you also look at Dane Scarlett. Did you think his performance was because of him or because of his lack of lack of chances?
Yeah, lack of chances.
So it wasn't just him. It was because the players that were playing alongside him could not get the ball to him. So that's one player there that you.
And Lo Celso was getting the ball. What did he do with the ball? That's the problem. Lo Celso was actually getting the ball.
Yeah, but
Dane Scarlett's also 16, Daniel.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'd agree with you there, but look, it really is something where I'm not too sure about it because Jack. The question was for the starting 11. I don't want to see Harry Kane in it.
Like, who would you take from the starting 11 to play against Pashas if maybe the last lineup wasn't good enough?
Well, maybe I'd say Lucas Moura. He's the type of player get those matches who I think is perfect. He's got the pace to run through the defense. He does well against low quality sides. And then you've got it's tough because you see Harry Kane. I'm not sure if Manchester City are still interested in him. Daniel Levy would risk the chance of getting a 150 mil bid to Harry Kane being injured against a Portuguese club that we didn't even know existed until like a week ago. So it's not something that you'd expect to see. Maybe on the bench just in case something happens. Sonny, I think, is one that could be in the starting 11, but maybe on the bench. That's another one where maybe at one point we can bring him on. What Nuno did, I think, was the correct thing in the first leg. But we have to remember now. Another thing is that we're going to have the advantage with the fans. The fans are going to be on our back. I would have rather it like this than like if we had the first match at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, we battered them 2-0, and then we have a Dynamo Zagreb game.
Yeah.
In the second leg.
Very good.
So we're gonna have 2 legs. One is away, one is at home. We're gonna play the second one at home. We're gonna have the team on the fans on our back. All I can say is 3 words. Come on, you Spurs. I mean, that's 4 words. That's 4 words.
I absolutely love it. Any football training tonight, Daniel?
No, not tonight. I've got tomorrow, but yeah, it was perfect because I'm actually having my first ever show on the Tottenham on Tour channel.
Nice.
It's filming today. It's going to be called The Final Whistle because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm actually an official referee.
Oh, so that David, so you would know maybe just what it's like maybe to be paid off maybe by the referees a bit before the game, considering I would say the last games it seemed like the referee the pockets were bulging a bit. I know David likes to pay the referees before the FIFA games between him and I. Is there anything maybe you could touch on that? Do you feel like maybe the last referees that were refereeing for us, did you feel like maybe they were leaning a certain way?
Look, when a referee makes a decision, I understand the wrong decision. If it's the wrong decision or if it's the right decision, something that with my experience and with all the things that I've been through and something that I don't like, if a player has a bad performance, yeah, he's a Tottenham player. But I don't like really criticizing referees too much because they've got a lot of work to do. Obviously, if he makes a really bad decision, he needs to be corrected and he needs to be punished for it. But there's some matches that I've seen the fans chasing after the referee after the game, going to their house, giving him death threats. I don't agree with that stuff. But I mean, if you guys are having problems in your FIFA games with the referee, he might as well just restart the game and I'll give you a different referee.
Yeah, no, I always see Jack sneaking out of the referees before walking out of the referees room. But Daniel, so the show on Tottenham on Tour, what are you doing? Talking about refereeing decisions over the weekend, or?
Well, I'm going to be mainly talking about the Spurs Tottenham decisions over the weekend. Mainly what we saw in the Wolves game, but also be going over some major decisions going on in other games. I won't be talking about just normal decisions on other games. Like if the ball goes out for a throw-in, was it a throw-in or not? No, it's not going to be that. It's going to be like fouls that people thought it was not a foul. That one that I'm going to be going over quite a lot is a skip one.
Yeah.
Where he got the yellow card. If you want to know my professional opinion on that, with my refereeing experience, then yeah, you could check over Tottenham. It's not going to be live. It's going to be pre-recorded, so the video is going to go out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if that's something that you guys are interested in watching, Tottenham away.
Yeah, Tottenham away or Tottenham on tour?
Oh, Tottenham on tour. Tottenham on tour.
Tottenham on tour.
I keep getting mixed up.
No, it's okay. We'll forgive you this once. My man. Don't worry about it. No, look, everybody, get over and check it out. The boys are making moves. And big up, Daniel. Good show. I'll definitely check it out when it's out.
Something that I must say, the boys from Miami have pulled it off this weekend.
Whoa.
That's 2-1.
That's right.
So I'm wearing this jersey for the first time in a long time. To show that I'm proud of the boys. It's like the first win, like in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for having me, David.
Eags, mate. You got Eags. You got Higuain. You know, you got you got my Tweety. You got the boys. You know, the boys are in town for sure. That must be fun. But yeah, definitely big yourself up, Daniel. Please.
Great debate on Bargman. I loved it. Great debate.
Thanks for having me, guys.
My man.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Well, look, the last guest of the evening we have, it is Shamu, if he wants to turn on his camera there. And we have Dolby Skills. Man, I seen you put in the chat saying check my Twitter, man. I open my Twitter. I have about 20, 30 messages there, if not more. Let me know exactly what name it's under, just so I'll go in and check it out. I haven't got a chance to respond. I was busy today doing all the thumbnails and all that sort of stuff for the week and everything else. But Dolby Skills, my man, let me know what name the message is under, and I'll be sure to check it out. And says, David, you should stream the FIFA game. Would love it. Yeah, look, that's something we're going to look to get out on the second channel on the Flat Cap Euro Talk. You know, is me and Jack playing FIFA against each other. It's it's very exciting. A lot of mind games over the mic. Shall I say? And look, we both score some pretty good goals. I'll be honest. Jack takes more of the possession, but sometimes you don't need possession. That's what I say to you, Dolby. Sometimes you just need to be clinical, my man. Big up
Dolby Skills. Big up. But Dolby Skills, I'm pretty sure you're subscribed to our second channel, Flat Cap Euro Talk. But if you're not, that's where the FIFA is going to be displayed. I know plenty of the Harris Army is very desperate for the FIFA, David. But for the time being, when we find the ability to be able to put our FIFA games between each other out up there, we will be putting it on Flat Cap Euro Talk. So that gives you another reason to subscribe over there. It's a place for where maybe David might let loose a little. You might see maybe more of the raw form of David, maybe a bit more of the nastier side of David and I as well. So it gives you even more reason to subscribe to Flat Cap Euro Talk.
No, absolutely love it. Of course, we definitely have to get over there and subscribe. Dolby, my man, I don't see the message there from you. I don't. But look, let's waste no time. Let's spend our last 20 minutes with the one and only, the guy that we actually chilled out with and watched the game the other day. It's our man, Shamu. Shamu, how we keeping, my man?
Good. How are you guys?
Well, we're all good, fresh off of a 2-0 win. I believe you're fresh off SummerSlam, my man.
Oh, yeah. It was all right, but prefer the Spurs win, to be honest. Spurs over resting all day.
Nah. Yeah, look, any real standouts for you from the Spurs game?
Ellie, Skip, they were the main two, and I thought Reguilon had quite a good game. He was good in the advanced positions, cutting out some of the balls going to the wing. I thought he intercepted them quite well.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe speak about Reguilon a bit more. I haven't heard that shout yet, actually, Shamu. Maybe what about Reguilon's performance, maybe in particular, maybe made it maybe worthwhile for you?
Just thought getting up the pitch, he was getting, being positive a lot. And when he was at the back, he was intercepting. Well, I noticed he was intercepting a lot of them quite cleanly and pushing up the pitch and not kind of, being forced back a lot. He was more, given the opportunity to push forward. So when he was able to make the intercepts, he was intercepting them and able to offload it straight away. Yeah,
maybe also on Reguilon, do you feel like, maybe he's been dealing with these overlapping, kind of players? He had to deal with Trincao, and the likes of Semedo, last match. And then, before that, he had to deal with, Riyad Mahrez and Joao Cancelo. Do you feel like maybe he's not given enough credit, for having to deal with those type of players?
Yeah, I thought he's been doing quite well, a lot better than the last season,
than last season.
Then Jose's had him. He's looking like he's starting to come into his own a little bit now. Like, especially, like I said, the Wolves game, he was intercepting a lot of the passes they were trying to play to the wing, and he was all over that Trincao guy. For me, he had him. A few times he got past, but a lot of the time he he was intercepting a lot of the balls that were, they were trying to play through the lines. He was getting there like cleanly, stepping up, not just sitting back and cutting them. He was going up into the gap, stopping it, and then playing forward, not just waiting for the ball to come. He could see it coming, and then he was going into the space and stopping it.
Yeah. Definitely. And Shamu, maybe thinking about Thursday, I do like this comment from Adrian Sroka here, or Adrian Sroka. He's saying Thursday's team is going to be Galini, Sessegnon, Davies, or Rodon, and then Romero, and then Doherty as well. Winks, Oybeer, Deli, Bergwijn, Scarlett Hill. Is this lineup, could it be good enough? Could it be good enough to maybe get the 4-0 win that he's speaking about?
It should be, but if we're going to have Winks in the team, you need to bring some salt with you and throw it over your shoulder or something for the game, because, if Harry Winks, more like Harry Hill, he's terrible. I just think of the Benny Hill song when he comes on. That's all you need to play. When he comes on, everyone needs to just play that song, the Benny Hill theme. That just suits Winks perfectly.
For sure, Shamu. For sure. Shamu, what would you put down, that problem? We were watching, the game together, Shamu. We were, seeing us, maybe struggle, with holding the ball in midfield. What do you put that down to?
I just probably their mid. They just kind of got a hold of us, really. They just kind of fell out of the game. And once we got the extra body in the midfield in the second half, I feel that kind of altered a lot of their play up there. It was quite good.
Yeah. 100%. Look, maybe moving a bit away from the Wolves game, Shamu. Transfers. What sort of positions would you like to see Tottenham strengthen before the window closes? There's only 8 days left.
We'll probably need it. I prefer a defender and a striker, really, because we've got no one for Kane. I would like that. Someone who's an actual striker, not relying on Son, who's, not an out-and-out striker. It's not his preferred position. I prefer or a winger who can play striker, who's versatile.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone who can play striker but can drift out to the wing if they need and kind of come in. But preferably defenders, because if we can build from the back, I'm not worried really about our attack at the moment, because we can score goals.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Win you the league, and a good attack will just win you games.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I'd fully echo that. And what do you think of these Adama links, Adama Traore? Where do you stand on this?
I wouldn't take him for 40 million. That's too much. Maybe 20, 25. That's my max, especially pounds. 40 million pounds, mate. Come on. Just for pace.
For that, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. I tell you, a lot of things you can buy for that.
100%. Jack, any more questions there, lad?
No, Shamu, we have another kind of homegrown player problem again. It seems like we're at the limits of, the foreign players that we need to sign, or, foreign players that we can sign. Are there any maybe sort of switches, the Deadwood that maybe you could consider? I know you're kind of a, a transfer guru yourself, Shamu. Let's say maybe would you trade Serge Aurier with maybe a certain right back from somewhere? Would you trade, maybe, another player, maybe Tanguy, with another center mid from somewhere? Are there any sort of swap deals that maybe you have in mind?
Swap deals, I'd try and get Kessie. I'd try and get like some form of swap deal with Milan for him, and so we can get him this season and not for next season. We need him now.
Yeah.
So because he wants to leave, that might be able to make it easier for them.
Right.
Because apparently Paratici has been in talks with Kessie's agent, so.
Yeah, hopefully he's able to bring Kessié, and I think that'd be an absolutely baller signing. Yeah. But speaking of Paratici and maybe also Levy as well, it's been reported that Levy has no intention to sell Kane, right, to a Premier League rival. Do you think he will actually go against maybe his word, to the Spurs fan? Will he, sell, Kane to a Premier League rival, or do you think he'll maybe stick by his word?
As a famous wrestler once said, Ted DiBiase, everyone has a price. And Levy is that man.
He certainly is.
And look, what about the Ndombele situation? Look, Bayern are rumoured to be the only sort of team interested in with 8 days to go. Do you sell him for whatever Bayern really want to pay for him and cut your losses? Or do you stand your ground, demand what you paid for him, and if not, run the risk of keeping him and unsettling the team for a season?
We'll have to find out first whether or not Ndombele likes German food. That'll be the first thing we have to find out.
It's not very good, Shamu. It's not very good.
That's the first thing we'll have to find out. But I reckon he in a slower league with not as much intensity and stuff, he might do it right. Like go
That's
back
not
to
the
even if he went
Bundesliga,
back
I
to
will say.
Liga.
that's
Even if he
he's
went
gonna
back
have
to
to be in better
Liga,
shape. He'll have to be in better shape.
Or he can come to the A-League, he'll probably be the best player here.
Yeah, you can take Winks over to the A-League as well. What's your league called in New Zealand?
It's cool. Well, we've only got one team here, like a professional team. They play in the A-League, which is an Australian league.
Is that
So
Adelaide?
for our away games, we have to basically travel to another country.
What country is that? What is that? Adelaide, is it?
No, we're in New Zealand, so they're all around the place in Australia. So one game we have to go from Auckland to Perth, which is the longest away game, I think, in football, for just a local game. It's like a 6-hour plane ride to Perth from here.
So you don't have a professional league in New Zealand?
Oh, we do, but it's rubbish. It's pretty crap. There's only basically
they have
one
a
team.
It's like maybe like Swansea for Wales, David.
Oh, right, yeah, I get you.
Or Cardiff for Wales, or like Cardiff for Wales. They have
played in the
teams
Football World Cup. They played Football World Cup, and they came third, I think. So it's not bad.
Oh. Yeah, happy days. Look, getting back to Tottenham, I just thought that'd be interesting. Getting back to Tottenham, Thursday. What's your thoughts on Thursday? You think we should beat these easy?
Yes, we should beat Paco, Ferrero Rocher easy.
I don't this Ferrero Rochers, lad. I love them.
So do I, but I eat them, so that's I'm respecting them by eating them.
Absolutely love it. Anything you want to talk about, Shamu?
Can't think of anything. All I want to see is just a good performance, individuals, and I want to win. I want to go through. We can't go out in the group stage. That's embarrassing. Especially at home.
Love to hear it.
Especially at home.
Maybe
With the fans there, they're not going to allow it. They're not going to allow that shit again.
Last question, Shamu. What players would you maybe take from the starting lineup, maybe against Wolves, and play in that Pashos game?
I'd maybe give Skip some more minutes. He's still young, so he can definitely play again. When you're young like that, you can play 2 games a week.
Takes
easy.
away Winks maybe from playing too by doing that.
Oh,
yeah,
I guess we'll live with that. It's a sacrifice you have to make.
Right.
I'd rather play with 11 than 10 men.
Yeah, that's true.
And have to listen to the Denny Hill theme for 90 minutes.
That's very true. That's very true, Shamu. Look, I actually think you missed the show maybe about the season expectations. So let's get your season expectations off you.
Where are we going to finish? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
6th. I was saying 7th, but I'll go a little bit more optimistic and say 6th. I don't want to jump on the high horse and say we're going to finish 4th or we're going to do anything amazing. I think 6th is a optimistic and reasonable target for us. And if we can get a cup on top of that would be perfect. A cup in top 6, because there's a lot of teams. Top 4 is basically already. There's too many teams in there for us to challenge for. Maybe 5th and 6th we can get in and around for, I reckon. Yeah,
100%. I think that's a good shout, Shamu. Very level-headed shout, I have to say.
Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea. Who else is there? That's already like 4 or so. So, and then after that, you got all the other kind of lingering teams around there. So I think we're one of those lingering teams.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I hope we're up that far. I hope it doesn't capitulate like it did last season. But Shamu,
can't be any worse.
No, it can't be.
Can't be like Arsenal.
Yeah, they're down in relegation zone. I'd say you were happy watching FTV last night.
Oh, pretty good.
Sitting there with your Ben and Jerry's, yeah?
I don't eat Ben and Jerry's. I eat New Zealand ice cream. I'm loyal to New Zealand ice cream. It's excellent.
Nice.
High grade.
Absolutely love it. Well, Shamu, look, we are going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for your time and for coming on, my man. I really appreciate it.
Like and subscribe, guys.
Appreciate you, Shamu. Big up.
Big up,
and
Shamu.
Nuno we trust.
And Nuno we trust, Shamu. I love it.
That's a very important message to be putting out, Shamu. Big yourself up, man. I really.
And I've got one more thing. We got to subscribe to flatcapeurotalk.
Thank you, Shamu. Appreciate.
We got to do that. We got to get him up. The more we get him up, the sooner you might see a live stream for games. So.
Very true. Very true.
Why don't you take a minute to plug Flat Cap? Why should people go for Flat Cap, Shamu? Why should they go with Flat Cap Euro Talk?
When Spurs starts doing bad and you're thinking, oh, well, where are these new players going to come from, or who's doing good that I should keep an eye on. Jack's the man. Jack's the man for that. And a lot of those players that are in those videos, they're all old FIFA players that have signed, because I usually go for I take all the young bloods, like 16, 17-year-olds, and I just use all them, and a lot of them I've signed, so I had a good laugh at that.
Yeah, come to me for your FIFA signings, everybody, for sure. Yeah. Come to me for your
I
FIFA
just look at
signings.
all the young guys, and then I'll watch them in a game or two, and be like, oh yeah, they're actually not bad, and then I'll go and sign them.
Love it. I love it. Well, big up, Shamu. I really appreciate it, brother. And you go and have a good day now. You enjoy yourself. Don't get into any trouble.
No, I can't. I'm on lockdown.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry about that, so lad. Don't look. Still enjoy your day, though.
I will. Don't you worry about that. You know what I mean.
He will, Dave. He will, Dave. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But appreciate you, Shamu. Appreciate you. We'll catch you, brother.
What an absolute legend Shamu is. What an absolute legend. Well, Jack, there we have it. Another fan show. These fan shows are getting longer and longer every week. More and more people coming on, which is what we want to see. I'll sit here for 6 hours and talk to the Harris Army. I absolutely love it. Guys, it's been a cracker of a show. Before we do go, though, Jack, tell everyone what was put up on the channel today, why they should look at it, and why should they subscribe.
Listen, it's down in the banner that's going across the bottom there. You know, it's spelled out there for you. It says Flat Cap Euro Talk. It's definitely the channel that you should check out, especially, again, if you're looking for a bit of content outside of Spurs. You know, maybe you're getting a bit sick of, you know, some of the Spurs, you know, kind of news. You know, maybe you're kind of not really buying into some of the transfers that were, you know, rumored with. You know, maybe look at some different transfers. Maybe just think about things outside of Spurs. And that will be over at our second channel, you know, run by David and I. It's going to be called Flat Cap Euro Talk. It's down in the description below. We have so many new videos out there for you guys to check out. And we really want you to recommend it to all your friends that are not maybe Spurs fans. You know, maybe that, you know, unfortunate, you know, Chelsea friend that, you know, that maybe we all have, you know, that unfortunate, you know, maybe West Ham, you know, friend down the road that, you know, we all have. Maybe that's the channel for you guys to bond over. We have my predicting the top 6 of European football's top 5 leagues with Darius from Paxton Road. I know you guys would really like that one. That's where I just basically break down, you know, who I think will be winning the league in all of Europe's top 5 leagues, from the Serie A to the Bundesliga to Liga to La Liga, you know, and then the Premier League as well. I'd be giving you my predictions. And then also as well, I have my top talents that have been out. I have some of the players that I think will be, you know, blossoming in the under 23s, you know, throughout Europe's top 5 leagues. There's just so much out there. We had 3 videos even released today, David. And so please, just head on over to Flat Cap Euro Talk. It's down there, spelled out for you. And then as well, it's spelled out under my name here. And that's in the description below. You can't miss it. We're at 170 subscribers, David. And I know we need to get to 200. If we get to 200, you know, within a week, David, we started it on Wednesday. If we get to 200 by this upcoming Wednesday, I wouldn't know what to say to the Harris Army. Honestly, fully indebted to them. They're absolutely incredible. But please recommend it to your friends. You know, they're not Spurs fans, I would say.
No, look, 100%. I'd say get over there, check it out. I will be on there at some stage this week doing the Premier League stuff this week. So guys, make sure you do look out for that. Look, like I said, look, even getting to 200 in such a short space of time is insane. But look, Jack, that's down to the great videos you producing and the Harris Army getting behind us. So look, guys, if there is anyone else out there who hasn't subscribed to Flat Cap Euro Talk, please do get over there, check it out. It's me and Jack anyway, so you're going to enjoy it. Smash that subscribe button. As well, look, guys, what's coming up here? Tomorrow, I'm not 100% sure yet, guys, because I'm waiting to see if the Europa Conference League press conferences. If it is tomorrow, we'll be bringing you a review to the game at 9:30. If it's not tomorrow, I'm sure we'll be putting up something on the channel at some stage anyway. But then we'll be back Wednesday with a double header, 7 o'clock for the preview. Can Nicky answer me at 9:30, guys, on the Wednesday if the press conference isn't tomorrow. So, guys, I'm absolutely thrilled with all the support today. It's been absolutely insane. So much people watching the whole way through. Thank you, everybody, for the support in the Super Chats. You have no idea how much it really does.
Big up, everybody.
You really have no idea. So big yourselves up, guys. You're way too generous. And look, hopefully we can keep getting your support. Everyone that's been putting in the comments section, interacting, smashing the like button, you know, a massive thank you to you guys too. You have no idea how important you guys are too with the chat, you know, smashing the like button, helping out with the algorithm. When the video is finished, I would love if some people could get in a few comments underneath, even if it's just a Flat Cap Army, a hashtag Harris Army, or, you know, Dave's a prick, or Dave's a legend, whatever you want. You know what I mean? Just helps with the algorithm as well. guys, it's been an absolute good one. So look, we're going to end it off here now. We're off to play a bit of FIFA. We'll update you maybe tomorrow. We'll give a little update maybe if we put up a video tomorrow on who got the better of who. But look, guys, until then, we're going to leave you dreaming and thinking about who you think is better. We're not going to give anything away. So, guys, smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. In Nuno we trust. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. And Nuno we trust.